Welcome back inside Sims Legion Park. Want to thank Carolina Trust Bank for our stadium pregame show. We get the throwdown and the first batter up for the Lincoln County Cardinals. The leadoff man, center fielder number 23, Lane Hoover, steps into the box.
Yeah, and Lane Hoover's been continuing his tremendous year from high school, which he batted over 400. Of course, as Carson said in the Carolina Trust Bank pregame show, he stole second and stole third, and eventually got to home plate in the first inning of the game Sunday against Huntersville. So Swan does not want to get Hoover on base at all.
Swan working quick already. First pitch, and it'll be a ball to start the game. So 1-0 count on Hoover quickly.
7:06 first pitch tonight here at Sims Legion Park.
Now we've got wind here, but no, the flags aren't really furling out in right center as the ball goes
foul. That goes over us.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of foul balls over this way tonight. I have a feeling. I can feel it in my bones.
We'll be all right. We'll be just fine.
I wasn't complaining. I said I was just feeling it in my bones.
So 1-1 count on Hoover as Swan leaves one down there, so count will move to 2-1.
By the way, interesting observation. This might be the only time you'll ever hear these words. It's an all three-person Gaston College broadcast crew.
Oh, yeah.
The Gaston College alum and the other two current students.
So Lane Hoover drives one into left field, and that'll be a pretty tough play. Ranging to his left is Bray Wooten, and that'll be one out.
Yeah,
Jordan Easter stepping to the plate.
Yeah, Bray Wooten, he was really playing it pretty shallow, but of course it looks more shallow than it actually is in this ballpark with the dimensions. But a nice job of Bray Wooten getting that fly out for the first out, and of course it's going to be hard. Well, actually they got the ball, the strikes and outs working on the scoreboard, so it's going to make it a little easier.
Now this guy right here, Jordan Easter, he can do some damage.
Ball one is Jordan Easter.
He
takes a wide fastball to start his at-bat.
Hit a home run in the win at Kings Mountain on Saturday.
Yeah, he was a threat in all three sports when he played at Lincolnton High School, was a quarterback for 3 years, played basketball, and was a key part of that team making a pretty deep run 2 years ago. I think they could have used him this year some more.
Easter quickly ahead 2-0 as Swan skipped two fastballs in. Swan gets his sign, delivers. That'll be ball three, so a quick 3-0 count for Easter. You got to think the take sign will most likely be on right here.
Well, and the Swan, a lot of his pitches so far have been low and in the dirt. He's going to have to try to somehow find a way to get the pitches up a little bit higher here.
Here we go.
Swan comes, sets, and delivers, and that will be a 4-pitch walk to Easter. So the first base runner of the day for the Lincoln County Cardinals will get there via a walk, and that'll bring up the right fielder, number 3, Brendan Gallagher.
Gallagher didn't have the greatest games when I had him at Kings Mountain, but
played pretty solid at Huntersville the other day. A guy who we talked about as when you look at him, not your typical size for your 3-hole hitter, but obviously a guy who has faith as Jordan Easter gets back quickly on the pickoff attempt.
Quick reminder, just in case you weren't listening to the pregame, the dimensions, 335 in left and right, 380 in center, 360 in left and right center.
Gallagher may have just feigned the bunt right there as he takes ball one.
So this is a very, this is not, like you said, this is not a very, this part not too kind of power hitters.
Yeah.
And I also will say that the catcher is going to have to do a tremendous job tonight because this backstop is humongous here at Sims Legion Park.
Swan comes on the 1-0 count and gets a strike on the inside corner. Count will move to 1-1. And like you said, Evan, this backstop is so big that guys, a lot of times, if you're aggressive enough and if you're aware, you can get two bases on a pass ball or a wild pitch.
Yeah, it's definitely bigger and more wider than Keeter Stadium's, which is pretty big.
Gallagher drives one into right field. This might get down. It will. Jordan Easter sort of stuck between first and second, and he'll be out on the 9-6 putout. Obviously, Jordan Easter having to hold up in between first and second, wait for that ball to get down, but once the ball was in the hands of the right fielder, Todd's glove, he hosed him. So the first out of the night will be Jordan Easter.
Like a tough play to judge from this angle because it looked like he was going to try to run and catch it, but it just dropped. And then I think that Easter, was confused mostly at if it was going to land or not.
Well, and he was trying to play it safe, and so he was in a lose-lose situation. And unfortunately, the right fielder had a great arm to throw it and a great throw as well to easily hose him out.
All right, now batting with a 1-0 count quickly is Nate Kinch, a guy who, like we talked about, with that opposite field 2-run home run on Sunday in Huntersville, as Gallagher gets back quickly on a pickoff attempt from Swan.
And no, Lincoln County, they are aggressive and can steal as Gallagher goes now.
There you go.
Not a great throw right there from McRae, and Gallagher gets in safely on the stolen base.
There's the threat. There's the threat we referenced.
Yeah.
Their base stealing ability.
And if that throw is a little bit better, I think Gallagher could have been out on that throw.
Yeah, Nate Kinch now with a 2-0 count, 2 outs here in the top of the first. Xavier Swan looks back, the runner on second. Fires towards home, and Kinch fouls one off to the right side.
Also, I think I just realized another thing we got to mention here. The foul territories here at Sims Legion Park on both sides is humongous. So it's going to be real hard for a ball to get out of play.
Yeah, this is a very pitcher-friendly park all the way around, really. Swan comes on the 2-1. He gets a big swing and miss right there from Kinch, and that'll drive the count to deuces. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the cleanup hitter Nate Kinch, the shortstop.
So deuces wild, in other words.
Yes, sir. Swan looks the runner at second, Gallagher. Fires and delivers, and that'll be outside and low. That'll drive the count full, 3-2.
So interesting situation here if you're Swan with this payoff pitch. They got a runner at second. Kinch needs to be, both the pitcher and hitter need to be careful here. There's a nice lead. Ooh.
Swan steps off.
Yeah, shortstop really covering that bag, making sure Swan wants to throw there. He's covering him.
Gallagher still has a solid lead over there.
Swan comes with a 3-2, and that will hit Kinch.
Yeah, it looked like it grazed one of his hands there.
Yeah, either his hand or maybe might have been that elbow guard. Either way, he'll take the base, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Kyle Napinski.
And Napinski's had a solid start with the bat for post 455. Did a pretty good job Sunday night and pretty solid, I believe, on Saturday as well.
Had a couple of singles on Saturday night.
A single here could drive in 1 run.
So Napinski now with 2 runners on. Swan a good move back towards second. Gallagher able to dive in. So Kinch not being held at first. Gallagher being held at second with Kyle Napinski, the batter. Swan looks the runner back at second. Fires one in there, and that'll be inside. 1-0 count quickly for Napinski as there will be a battery meeting between McRae and Swan.
One thing that makes me concerned about Swan throwing back to second is the center fielder is playing extremely deep, so you don't really have that much backup coverage behind you. I know when I was a left fielder playing baseball, I remember my main job was always when a throw came down the third, I always had to run up and back up to the third baseman. A lot of time that helped. So, I mean, that could be dangerous for Swan if he makes a bad throw to second.
Exactly right. Swan may be too aware of that runner at second right now as he'll looking back a couple times and fire towards home, and that'll be low and in, and both runners will take off, and both will be in there safely on the wild pitch by Xavier Swan. So Swan, you got to think, as he looks back up towards that scoreboard, sees the 2-0 count on Napinski, you got to think right now with 2 outs, you might, you know, we've seen a lot of him so far staying down in the zone. Maybe he'll try and elevate something to change that eye level. And no, that one will be another fastball that's in the dirt. McRae doing a lot of getting dirty early.
Yeah, McRae's doing a good job. I know he let that last one go by, but he's been having to get down low in the dirt very early on.
And like you talked about, he's probably very aware of the amount of foul territory or, just room in the backstop. Swan looks like a changeup right there on a 3-0 count. Will get his first strike on Kyle Napinski. So Napinski now in the stereotypical 3-1 hitter's count.
Yeah, he'll get the green light here, you would imagine.
Yeah, you got to. Runners on second and third, 3-1 count, 2 outs, and a good pitch right there from Swan to get Napinski swinging on what probably would have been ball 4.
Yeah, that was just a little bit lower than the last pitch, so I think it was a little bit outside and low, but it was able to get Napinski to try and chase it. So now he's got him in a full count.
So Swan on the full count comes, fires, and it'll be a walk. So he'll walk the bases loaded now with Brady Drennan, the third baseman.
2 walks and a hit by pitch for Swan so far in this game. And even if he hadn't been hit by a pitch, that would have been a base on balls walk. It would have been ball 4.
You're right.
And of course,
Swan from Hunter Huss High School.
Of course, if you're the Cardinals in this situation, you're hoping that some of the good luck that Brady's had throughout these first 2 games continues. Ports pitched 4 great innings Saturday and got 4 RBIs on Sunday.
Drennan drives one towards second base. This could end the inning, and it's going to be a one unassisted at first as Xavier Swan takes it himself. So in the first, no runs, no hits, no errors, three left on base. We'll be right back. This is WLON 1050 KTC Broadcasting.
When you need a dentist you can depend on and trust, think of Dr. John Les Cloninger. Les is the longest practicing of the Cloninger family of dentists. The office of Dr. John Les Cloninger will work with you and your insurance, and new patients are welcome. For preventative, cosmetic, and restorative dental care for your family, come to Les Cloninger. Located on Magnolia Street just off Laurel behind Town & Country Shopping Center in Lincoln. Call 704-732-3336. Open Monday through Thursday. Dr. John Les Cloninger.
It's the Drive and Discover Pacifica event at Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Lincoln. Come in and see the new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica and get 0% APR financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 bonus cash on select Pacifica models. And you can also drive off with a great deal on a new 2016 Chrysler 200S. MSRP starting at $25,690. It's the Drive and Discover Pacifica event at Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln.
Welcome back inside Sims Legion Park, Gastonia, North Carolina for American Legion Baseball. The Lincoln County Cardinals taking on the home team Gastonia Post 23 Rebels. We're now in the bottom of the first after Lincoln County able to load the bases, but Xavier Swan able to work himself out of trouble. And now we see Kyle Napinski take the mound, and Napinski, a guy who I saw the other day, I believe he was playing first, right?
Yeah. And
a guy who, had some good at-bats, played a good first base, but Evan, tell me about what he can do on the mound.
Well, I actually have not seen him on the mound. This is, I believe, his first year playing for the Cardinals, at least the varsity Legion team. But it's definitely going to be interesting. A left-handed pitcher, first time we've seen a left-handed pitcher for Lincoln County this year during one of our broadcasts. So, left-handed pitchers can be very dangerous. You see one of the best right now in the league is in Chris Sale. Of course, you think of tall, lanky pitchers that are lefties. Also, you got to mention Randy Johnson.
Yep.
So, lefties can be very dangerous here, and it's going to be a lefty versus lefty matchup to start things out.
Yeah, Tyler Bradley, the center fielder, in the box, and he'll get plunked on the first pitch of the ball game. So,
it's not the start Napinski was wanting. No doubt about that.
Probably not the start that Tyler Bradley necessarily wanted either, but of course he'll take that bag.
He's grimacing over there towards first base.
He took it probably right on that right shoulder blade, and that's not a place that feels too good. Anywhere you take a good hard baseball is not going to feel great, but square on the back like that.
Especially if it's on the spine, that spinal area. That'll really kind of knock the wind out of you there, and I think it kind of did get him, Bradley there. He's kind of walking it off, talking to his first base coach, but I think he will be fine as he's going back to first base.
That'll bring up the right fielder, number 5, Billy Todd, a guy who made that nice 9-6 putout on Jordan Easter in the top of the first. So Todd, we've already seen a pretty aware guy in the field. Let's see what he does as he steps into the box.
And he's the reason Lincoln County doesn't have the lead right now, because Lincoln County had the bases loaded, and if he wouldn't have gotten Easter out, Easter would have scored.
You're exactly right. Napinski, first pitch of the at-bat, that'll be a ball high.
Yeah.
Count moves to 1-0.
A little bit inside, too.
Yeah.
A little bit inside.
A little bit, or really the opposite of what we saw early from Xavier Swan, a guy who really didn't want to go above the belt line, it almost seemed like. So Napinski with a 1-0 count, runner on first. Fire towards home, and Todd tries to bunt it, and it's a pretty good bunt. Napinski, is he going to be able to get him? No, he will not. So counted a base hit.
And I think that was an accidental swing.
Yeah.
It looked like he was just trying to check up a little bit, but he actually got the tip of it. And I think it helped because it got caught Napinski and Hunter White off guard, and he was able to run down there and get to first. So now troublesome situation for the other starting pitcher, Napinski, as he's got a scorer in running a runner in scoring position, got it mixed up.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, with no outs.
So
Beaver to the plate.
Yeah, Jordan Beaver, the designated hitter, now up to bat. Beaver now with, like you said, a runner in scoring position at second base, 2 on base total as Napinski fires towards home, and Beaver gets it, and that'll be driven down the left field line. One run will score. We'll see if.
Oh, it got past the left fielder.
That'll get past the left fielder, and that'll allow third. Yeah, that'll allow Jordan Beaver to cruise into second, and that double will give Post 23 the early lead, 1-0.
First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, 1-0
exactly
Gastonia.
Right.
A RBI double for Beaver does his job, and now here comes Jacob Lowry. I believe is one of the couple of North Gaston products on this team.
Got to say, leave it to Beaver to give the
Post
23
I wondered
lead.
which one of us was going to make that reference first.
I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to play the easy pun game.
So if you bet on smoke, congratulations, you won.
So now batting, as you said, first baseman from North Gaston, Jack Lowry. And Jack Lowry takes one about 6 inches above his head for ball one from Napinski.
And Napinski almost hit him too. So, and interesting that he's almost hit two lefty. He's hit one lefty, almost hit another lefty there.
So runners on second and third for Lowry. 1-0 count, and he'll pop that one up. Being right center, I don't think it'll be. No, they're going to test him. Throw will be high, but it'll be meat.
Oh my goodness!
Goodness gracious! What a throw out there from Kenny Shield, a 7-2. Outfield assist.
That is
Jordan Beaver will move to third, but go ahead, Seth.
That is a sensational throw. Had to get it on there.
Really a great play by Hunter White as well, as where he had to jump up and put that tag down.
Sensational defensive play by the Cardinals.
Great play.
My goodness.
Yeah, I think that was actually Lane Hoover there that caught it. He went all the way from
center
field to left field.
Yeah, it was Hoover.
That's an 8-2 put out.
And now the ball gets behind
Hunter White. That's going to be a wild pitch, and Jordan Beaver will be able to score. Gastonia Post 23 pushing their lead to 2-0 here early on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard.
And that was a tough play for Hunter White to make, but even after the tough situation, if the throw was just a tad bit better, they would have gotten Beaver out at home.
Yeah. So good, really a good play by Hunter White, followed up by another almost great play, and Gastonia leading 2-0 on that First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. And now batting is the shortstop, Furman Osio. No, excuse me, not Furman Osio. This is Wesley Summy, the third baseman, as now he'll swing through one, and that'll push the count to 1-1 with 2 outs.
Bases are empty once again, though. 2 outs.
I think that'll make Napinski a whole lot more comfortable here.
Right there. He throws a curveball, looked like, and Summy gets a piece of it. That'll drive the count to 1-2.
Weird, didn't hear anything on it though. That's the weird thing about that foul, or maybe it just got past Hunter White and he just missed on the swing.
Might have. Either way, Kyle Napinski up quickly, 1-2, and here comes the pitch, and that time Summy will definitely get a piece of it. Drive it into the netting. Count will remain at 1-2. Cardinals playing Summy straight up. Haven't really seen too many shifts for anybody in this Gastonia lineup as Napinski tries to maybe get him to swing at a garbage pitch right there on a 1-2 count, and that'll drive the count to 2-2.
And the deuces are wild again because we also have 2 outs. Scoreboard is acting up a little bit, though, again.
Yeah, it'll do that. But here comes Napinski with the 2-2, and Summy will drive a base hit, maybe more into left field. No, that'll be an Eddie's CarQuest Auto Parts base hit to left for Wesley Summy, and that'll bring up shortstop number 7, Furman Osio.
You know, right now I'm noticing a lot of these hits, these Eddie's Auto Parts base hits, there are a lot of bloopers into shallow left or shallow right field, which is, I think, really troublesome for all these these outfielders right now in this situation.
Obviously a big outfield, so you got a lot of ground to cover as Napinski throws a fastball for a ball to start the at-bat with Osio, 1-0. So you don't want to, you see all that space behind you, and it kind of worries you. You don't want to let one go over your head, but at the same time, you can't play so deep that it turns into a double from how far you have to go. And Napinski with a quick pickoff over to first, and Summy back in safely.
And, of course, I think the only team that would really be used to it that plays for Post 455 would be North Lincoln if you have to cover so much ground on the outfield.
Napinski with the 1-0 pitch, and he'll leave that one up and away, and that'll run the count to 2-0 on the shortstop, Furman Osio. Osio wearing just one batting glove. Here comes Napinski with the 2-0, and that one will get past Hunter White, and Wesley Summy will move to second base into scoring position with no problem. And now Furman Osio with a 3-0 count.
Napinski's got to have to really try to pinpoint where he wants the ball to be at, because you're already down 2-0, and you don't want to have a rally coming in here to start this first inning.
Pinsky looks back at the runner at second, fires towards home, and he'll get a strike on Furman Ocio, obviously taking on the 3-0 count, and that'll run it to 3-1.
Yeah, a little bit of control issues there for Pinsky, so he has to be really careful.
Looking back
Easter's
at the runner
moving.
at second, yeah. And that'll be a walk, 5-pitch walk for Furman Ocio, and now two runners back on base for post 23, as that'll bring up the catcher, number 16, Jacob McCray.
First base on ball walk of the game for Pinsky.
And I think Gastonia, the Rebels, have burned up most of their they've gone through most of the lineup here in this first inning alone.
Yeah, through the 7th spot in the order right now in McCray, so a good first inning, able to hang up a crooked number in that first inning is post 23. Pinsky looks back at the runner at second, and he'll come, and that one will be a wild pitch. Hunter White not able to rein that one in, and both runners are able to move up 90 feet. So 2 runners in scoring position now with 2 outs. Jacob McCray with a 1-0 count for Gastonia post 23, and here comes Coach
Bruce Bullock, probably not happy about the situation.
Yeah.
If with a base hit here or a blooper in this situation, could easily go to a 4-0 lead here, especially with 2 outs, so the runners can just run without any throwing caution to the wind. So he's going to have to calm down to Pinsky. And Hunter White, he's usually very good at catcher, not letting anything get past him, but I don't think Hunter White has had much experience with Pinsky, which I think has really had him struggle so far to start this game.
I think you're exactly right. Napinski, this is as a pitcher, when you see all that room behind you, it can mess with your depth perception a little bit. It's something where you're not used to seeing so much room behind your catcher. And that can be a cause for concern if you're Kyle Napinski on the mound, as he comes with a 1-0 pitch and Jacob McCray swings right through it to run the count to 1-1.
That's what you want to see if you're Napinski. Right after a mound meeting, you get the hitter to swing and miss on your first pitch.
So with a 1-1 count, Napinski fires and McCray gets a piece of that, and that'll run the count to 1-2.
Now you got him in a pitcher's count here. This is the first time in a while you've had a pitcher's count. Going to have to maybe try and get him chasing to try to strike him out here in a perfect situation to strike someone out.
So like you said, 1-2 count, 2 outs.
Runner at third is a small lead.
Yes, pretty small lead over there for Summey. Not a big one at second for Ocio, as Napinski fires towards home, and that'll be a breaking ball that he just can't get on top of, and that'll run the count to deuces. Again, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for, I believe, the 3rd time this inning.
2-2 coming.
Napinski shakes off a couple signs, and I believe McCray will be the one to call time. So Napinski looks in for the sign again, shakes him off a couple times again. Now he's got something he likes. Fires towards home and can't find the strike zone there, so he'll push the count full, 3-2.
Summey with his foot right on the bag at third. Now he'll take a small lead again.
So 3-2 count on Jacob McCray. And that'll be ball 4, so he'll load the bases once again.
And Bruce Bullock is going to head on out to the field once again, talk to the umpire.
Well, I'm not sure the rules in Legion, but most baseball, I was going to say your second mound visit.
Looks like we're going to have a Weston Sales call to the bullpen.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So 2 mound visits mean that you have to change pitchers. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. We'll get you all the changes when we come back. This is WON 1050 and KTC Broadcasting.
When you need a dentist you can depend on and trust, think of Dr. John Les Cloninger. Les is the longest practicing of the Cloninger family of dentists. The office of Dr. John Les Cloninger will work with you and your insurance, and new patients are welcome. For preventative, cosmetic, and restorative dental care for your family, come to Les Cloninger. Located on Magnolia Street just off Laurel behind Town & Country Shopping Center in Lincoln. Call 704-732-3336. Open Monday through Thursday. Dr. John Les Cloninger.
It's the Drive and Discover Pacifica event at Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Lincoln. Come in and see the new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica and get 0% APR financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 bonus cash on select Pacifica models. And you can also drive off with a great deal on a new 2016 Chrysler 200S. MSRP starting at $25,690. It's the Drive and Discover Pacifica event at Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln.
Welcome back inside Sims Legion Park. I'm Carson Dockery, joined by Evan Ludwig and Seth Evans.
Seth Eves.
Seth Eves, man, I'm sorry. Seth Eves.
That's
It's
okay.
the E name. I knew it was something with an E.
Too many
And there was a
E's.
V, and then there was an A. So the vast majority of your name, I got it. It just wasn't in the right order.
Yeah. Well, you're not the first that's called me Evans, and you probably won't be the last.
Yeah, probably not. Hate to break it to you, but now pitching for
I think I'm used to
Lincoln
it by now.
Now pitching for Lincoln County. Moving in from center field is Lane Hoover, so we'll get you the defensive changes real quick. So Hoover in from center field to now pitching. That means Brendan Gallagher is now your center fielder in from right field. Kyle Lipinski was pitching. He'll go to first. And Tyler Johnson will move from first base to right field.
Yeah, and I think it was a good idea putting Gallagher at center field replacing Hoover. So you got a speedster that can cover a lot of ground, especially in a ballpark like this in a quick amount of time. But Hoover didn't pitch much with Lincolnton this year from what I saw, but I know I have seen him pitch a little bit, and he is pretty good.
So Lane Hoover, the lefty, comes in, and first pitch will be a ball up and away, 1-0 count.
Jacob Thornburg, second baseman, who played at North Gaston High School. Solid year for the Wildcats.
Yeah, the North Gaston Wildcats, really a good program out there in Dallas. He drives one into left, and that's going to be misplayed out there by the left fielder, not Bray Wooten, but Kenny Shields. That one goes over his head. That'll be a double, and will it clear the bases? Yes, it will. A bases clearing double right there from Jacob Thornburg, the second baseman. You love to see your 8-man have a 3 RBI double here in the first inning as Gastonia now pushes their lead to 5-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard.
You know, I don't know if Kenny Shields saw it coming that fast. It was a line drive, but it looked like it was going right to him. I just think he put his glove in the wrong spot, and if it maybe have moved up a little bit, a couple more inches, that would have been an out.
I think you're exactly right. I think, really line drives are your hardest to assess really in the moment as Lane Hoover now facing off against the 9-hitter. That'll be the left fielder Bray Wooten.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Wooten was also a North Gaston product.
You're right. A quarterback, a guy who played a lot of different positions on the football field.
Yeah, and of course I got to mention all those runs that just scored. Those are going to be accounted for Lipinski, not Hoover.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So Gastonia with, like we said, a 5-0 lead on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Lane Hoover now on the mound for Lincoln County with number 14, Jacob Thornburg, just clearing the bases on a double. He's standing at second. Bray Wooten, the batter now, with an 0-2 count. Lane Hoover looking to get out of this one, and Wooten will fight it off. A good battle up there by Wooten, still down 0-2.
Yeah, but Hoover, you can definitely tell, seems more confident and seems to have more control of his pitches than Lipinski had. Lipinski just struggled out of the gate, and Coach Bullock was trying to get him out there before more damage was done, but unfortunately, a great line drive hit there to clear the bases.
Hoover on the 0-2 count, can't get Wooten to bite on that one. That'll be ball 1-2.
These pitchers are having a little bit of, obviously having control issues there. One just a bit high from Hoover there. Just got to settle down and get the third out. That's what you got to be thinking.
Hoover, 1-2 count. Bray Wooten will pop this one up. This should end the inning. Gallagher ranging to his left, and he'll make the play. So, 5 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. And your score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, Lincoln County 0, Gaston Post 23, 5. We'll be right back.
We make a joyful noise cheering our favorite high school football teams on Friday nights and our favorite college teams on Saturday. The Family of Faith at Ryan Heights United Methodist Church would like to invite you to come and make a joyful noise for the Lord on Sundays. Sunday school is at 10 and worship is at 11. Ryan Heights United Methodist Church is in Lincolnton on Madison Street, just up from Betty Ross Park. Come make a joyful noise with us.
Just say fill her up. Be ready for Old Man Winter with a fill-up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln. No matter where you live, Roads and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln can deliver. Just call 704-735-2508. Be ready for Old Man Winter with your winter fill-up from Roads and Bill Oil Company. 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Again, call 704-735-2508. Just say fill her up from Roads and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln.
Welcome back inside Sims Legion Park, and once again, I'm Carson Dockery, joined by Seth Eves and Evan Ludwig.
Yeah, third time's the charm.
There it is. One of these days, man, I'm going to be good at this.
Well, hopefully Lincoln County can get some more lady luck on their side after giving up 5 runs in the bottom half the first off of 4 hits. So let's see what Tyler Johnson can do here to lead things off in the top half the second inning.
Yeah, Tyler Johnson now the right fielder for the Lincoln County Cardinals as Xavier Swan throws ball 1 to start this count. Here he comes quickly, and that'll be ball 2.
Yeah, Lipinski got out in the first inning, but Swan also had his struggles having the bases loaded in the first inning. His pitch count has gotten up pretty high, and I do know Legion Ball has also I believe they have put their rules, the same pitch count rules as high school baseball did this year in North Carolina.
So Swan quickly gets a strike, and then Johnson will foul one off to bring the count even at 2-2. And I think the big difference between the ineffectiveness of Swan versus the ineffectiveness of Lipinski was leaving pitches up. Mm-hmm. Swan, you saw him when he missed, he was missing low. He was sort of skipping one in like that one right there, a fastball, and that'll run the count to 3-2. And I think really that's your big differentiator between the two starting pitchers.
I would agree with that.
And Swando, that's another full count. We saw Lincoln County force a lot of full counts Sunday against Huntersville. That's ball 4. Johnson maybe want to hurry a little bit more if this backstop could have possibly made a threat to go 2.
Yeah.
4 walks for Swan.
Yeah, 4 walks in so far just 1+ inning. And as you talked about, Evan, on pitches like that, ball 4, a lot of times guys may do that, but at the same time, there's only padding. I believe there's only 2 sections of padding down there as Hunter White steps in, the catcher. And if you get on either side of those padding, it's brick. So you hit brick, it's obviously not just going to deaden it. It could bounce back, and you could be stuck in between first and second as Hunter White takes ball 1 way outside from Xavier Swan.
You know, a real quick update, lights are on, and the sun is now starting to peek out, would you believe?
It's good to see the sun out after these last few days with Mother Nature not really cooperating with some of the baseball games going on here.
I think the Cardinals would be the first to say they're sick and tired of the rain.
Yeah, as Xavier Swan now down quickly again 2-0, and I think that's something that he's tired of hearing, being down 2-0, and now he's down 3-0 for what could be potentially his 5th base on balls here early.
Yeah, and Hunter White's a real smart player. I like how he's crowding the plate and not having that much margin of error for Swan. Of course, I think a catcher would always know to crowd the plate.
And he'll get a strike across right there, and that'll push the count to 3-1 on the catcher, as you said, Hunter White. White with a slightly open stance as a right-hander.
Trying to, if he makes contact to go to third base most of the time.
He'll pop it straight back and out of the ballpark.
Don't hit my truck.
That's why you park far away, man.
Yeah, well.
You gotta, I've worked here long enough. You park behind cars that are larger than you and just far away. And on a 3-1 count, Hunter White will draw the walk, and that'll push Tyler Johnson to second. So now
Kenny Shield,
you're exactly right, will be the batter with 2 men on, 1 in scoring position.
Seen going into the bullpen already as the bullpen all the way in right field, so our view's obstructed a little bit, but I think number 10 might be going into the bullpen for the Gaston Rebels here. Yeah, number 10 is going to be the pitcher that's going to be warming up, so we might see a change here if things don't get any better here for Swan, which, Lincoln County, you're down 5-0, but you're already getting a pitching change in the second inning. If you could try to take advantage of Swan struggling at the mound, you can easily get yourselves back into this game early on.
Number 10 is Isaac Toval for the Rebels.
So the umpire will come out, break this meeting up.
And the winds, I was just going to say something about the wind had died down, but now it comes blowing again.
Yeah, but it's not really blowing that much into the field.
Wind's out, it's blowing.
It's blowing to 2 of the flags.
Yeah, it's really at this point it's blowing in. You look out at the flags out there in right center field, and that's really your best indicator. So Swan, 2 men on, now facing the leadoff man, not the leadoff man, the number 9 spot, Kenny Shield, the left fielder, number 6, with runners on first and second.
He's the one who had that tough play that gave up the bases clearing double in the bottom half of the first inning. He would definitely get some retribution here if he could get a base hit, score at least one run.
Center fielder shading him to left just ever so slightly, and he'll put one down on the ground. So that'll be a 6-4, no 3. So that'll be a 6-4 put out at second. And a fielder's choice for Kenny Shield is now with one out. Lincoln County with runners on the corners is now we'll go back to the top of the card. And center fielder turned pitcher Lane Hoover will step into the box.
He flew out to left in his first at bat.
And it was a great play by Bray Wooten to get Lane Hoover out.
Yeah, we see, two ends of the spectrum almost. Bray Wooten making a good play on a line drive out and left, and then Kenny Shield just not able to do the same, as line drives are really like we talked about, the toughest pitch when the ball's coming off the bat, it's just really hard to assess exactly where it's going to come. And quickly Lane Hoover has a 1-0 count in favor of himself.
And I want to mention, I think part of that is because Bray Wooten has a fly
Lane
ball.
Hoover, he'll drive one into left. Looks like that'll be Bray Wooten's ball to call, and they're going to try and score the runner from third. No, they won't. Tyler Johnson would have been out by probably about 4 or 5 steps had he continued on down that third.
What a cannon.
Yeah, Bray Wooten, a guy who we talked about, North Gaston, football.
He's quarterback.
Yeah, they don't throw it too much, but Bray Wooten definitely has an arm on him, and Jordan Easter, the second baseman, steps into the box.
Easter walked in the first.
I want to say something about the Bray Wooten probably playing so well now out in left field. It's kind of something like you hear a lot in the majors when in different ballparks. You become accustomed to it when you play in it more often. Like you talk to a guy like a Hanley Ramirez talking about playing in left field, or Manny Ramirez is a better example, playing left field as a foul ball by Jordan Easter at Fenway Park, having to play with the monster right behind you. And Bray Wooten, with all that room, has probably been used to it. Of course, he's a freshman and just ended his freshman year in college, so he's had his experience here at Sims Legion Park.
So,
runner goes.
Yeah, no throw down right there as Kenny Shield is able to get in safely at second. Xavier Swan now with a 1-1 count, and right before that pitch, I was going to say it's one of the very few times that Swan has started a batter with an 0-1 count. But Easter able to take one right there as Swan delivers again, and that one will be low and outside, and that'll drive the count to 2-1 on Easter. No one holding at second. Tyler Johnson getting a pretty conservative lead over there at third. As Swan kicks and delivers, and Easter pops it straight up. This should be in play for third baseman Wesley Summey. He'll camp underneath it and make the play. So in the top of the second, no runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left on base, and we'll go to the middle of the second with a score of 5-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. This is WLON 1050 AM and KTC Broadcasting. We'll be right back.
When you need a ride, Specialized Transport has exactly what you're looking for, serving Gaston, Lincoln, Catawba, Burke, Caldwell, and Cleveland counties. Specialized Transport has your area covered. Ambulatory, wheelchair, and geriatric chair transport. Handicap transportation services and non-medical transport services are available as well. When you need a ride, call Dean Hastings at 704-735-5676. Specialized Transport will get you where you need to be. 704-735-5676.
For over 100 years, the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home in Fallston has been providing services to families of our community with care and compassion. And now the Stamey Funeral Home has added the Cremation Center along with a new name, the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center. The Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center on Highway 182 in Fallston, and the Stamey Funeral Home in Cherryville, located on Dixie Street in Cherryville, serving you with care and compassion in your time of need.
Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff?
Welcome back inside Sims Legion Park. Once again, I'm Carson Dockery, joined by Evan Ludwig and Seth Eves. As your score on the Federal First Savings Bank scoreboard, Lincoln County Cardinals 0, Gastonia Post 23, Rebels 5 early here as we're in the bottom of the second.
And Lane Hoover, of course, came in the first inning. Yes, a pitching change in the first inning. The Penske struggled, unfortunately, for the Cardinals. And then the first pitch, I believe Hoover threw. It was a base-clearing double. Just Kenny Shields had a tough play on it. As a nice job of Hoover finding the corner there to get a strike called.
Tyler Bradley at the plate.
Yeah, back to the top of the lineup.
Hit by a pitch.
Yeah, hit by a pitch on the first pitch of the ball game. Is now he'll be ahead 2-1.
Of course, if you're Coach Bullock, you want Hoover to get about 4 or 5 good innings. You know, he's basically pitching the whole game here.
Bradley hits one right to Jordan Easter, and that'll be an easy 4-3 put out. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Billy Todd.
Hoover's basically the starting pitcher with the way he started out the ball game in the first inning with the pitching change. So 4 to 6 innings, I think, would be what you want from Hoover. Unfortunately, with all these games that they've played in a short amount of time and these new pitching rules, some of these guys have to be on a certain amount of days of rest, like Brady Drennan, who pitched all those pitches Saturday night.
There, Hoover fires a fastball in there, and that'll be strike one, 0-1 on the right fielder, Todd. Hoover comes, sets, and delivers, and Todd swings at one in the dirt. And that'll push things to an 0-2 count on the right fielder.
That'll definitely get Hoover more confident when you throw a bad pitch and the guy still swings at it.
Yeah. So Hoover, the lefty, gets his sign again, working pretty quickly. And that one, and just your stereotypical 0-2 pitch. Fastball outside, and that'll run the count to 1-2.
Not a bad pitch, though, after the guy swung at the ground.
Hoover working quickly as he comes with a big 1-2 breaking ball, and that'll sit down Billy Todd for the first out of the inning, or second out of the inning, excuse me.
Good breaking ball, heavy cut, though, from Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Hoover got a little bit closer to the strike zone that time, and that was just enough for Todd to go try and swing, and he got the bait there and missed.
That'll bring up the designated hitter, Jordan Beaver, number 20. Beaver with a double in his last appearance, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right down the left field line as he'll take a good breaking ball for strike one from Lane Hoover.
And he also scored a run.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, came in on the other double, the bases clearing double. So Hoover quickly up 1-0, as now he'll go up 0-2 as Beaver fouls one to the right side and out of play.
They've really cleaned that place up over there outside the ballpark. The grass is extremely green. The last time I was here was about 2 years ago. Looked like a little BMX course. Now it's real.
Yeah, right behind the brick wall out in right field, actually. Hoover comes 0-2, and Shield will strike out Jordan Beaver swinging. So Gastonia goes down 1-2-3 after a 5-run first. We'll be right back. This is WLON 1050 AM and KTC Broadcasting.
Turner Hauser Insurance Group has moved into the new location at 228 East Main Street in downtown Lincoln, and you're invited to come by. Jamie Hauser can help you with your home, auto, commercial, farm, or life insurance needs. Turner Hauser Insurance Group is here to serve their community and help you protect what matters. Visit the new location, Turner Hauser Insurance Group, 228 East Main Street in downtown Lincoln, and just look for the big blue awning. Online at turnerhauserins.com. Call 704-732-9577. It's like going on vacation without leaving town at the Glen Oaks Golf Club in Maiden. Sure, there's golf, but there's a whole lot more, like their swimming pool, driving range, picnic shelter, and their new clubhouse, featuring a snack bar and a big banquet room. Great for weddings, receptions, class and family reunions. So for a fun day of golf and much, much more, see Glen Oaks Golf Course. Call 828-428-2451. 828-428-2451. Online at glenoaksgolf.com.
Welcome back inside Sims Legion Park. I'm Carson Dockery, once again joined by Seth Eves and Evan Ludwig. Your score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard is the top of the third now. Let me update that. But your score is still correct on screen. Lincoln County Cardinals 0, Gastonia Post 23 Rebels 5.
And Smoke was asking in all favors this division. Yes, this is a game in the Eastern Division of Area 4.
Yeah, division's kind of changed up a little bit this year, so Lincoln County's back into division with Shelby Post 82. But we won't be seeing any Post 82 baseball till June 6th, folks, because most of the team is in the state championship game right now. Crest, that game will be Friday at, I believe it's in
Zebulon,
yeah.
Five-county stadium.
Home of the Carolina Mudcats.
Yeah, that's where Cherville played last year, beating Whiteville. But they'll be playing Northern Guilford.
You're exactly right. So let's get back to this action right here. Xavier Swan on the mound quickly to a 1-1 count on Brendan Gallagher, now the center fielder, and now it's a 1-2 count on the Lincoln County center fielder. Swan comes, sets, and delivers.
Ooh.
And that will hit him on the bounce. It looked like it hit him on the bounce, but either way, Brendan Gallagher is going to trot down to first. That's the what is that? The third hit batter of the game for both teams.
Yeah, we're in the third inning.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so I mean, also want to mention that Saturday Crest will be playing at 11 o'clock, and if a game 3 is necessary, that'll be at 5. All games will be on WOHS and the Boss.
Good deal, good deal. So Crest Chargers, is that the state final or is that the regional
it's
final?
the state final.
Oh, good for them, man.
They swept Marvin Ridge.
Crest is turning into a multi-sport school, man.
Yeah, had a pretty good basketball team a couple years ago too, but this time they've made it the states into a different sport other than football.
Yeah. So Xavier Swan now with an 0-1 count on Nate
And yet they're
Kinch.
playing a familiar opponent in Northern Guilford.
Yeah. And then Swan will miss on that one and move the count to 1-1.
I want to also mention we got baseball going on WCSL as they're playing Post 100's playing Rutherford County. It's our second broadcast. Milton Baker, Danny Aker on the game right now. And, of course, after this, we got another baseball game. We have the Braves. I believe they start their series with the Giants.
The Dodgers.
Dodgers, okay. They're with the Dodgers, so they're on the West Coast swing right now. Woo, nice contact by Nate Kinch, but it goes foul.
Yeah, getting the W last night in L.A., but that was against the Angels. 6-3 in favor of the Bravos.
Let's just hope the Braves don't have to go against Strickland or have any bad.
When you were talking about the Dodgers, you talking about the evil team in California.
Yeah. Swan now with a 2-2 count, and that one we will be low and outside. That'll push the count to 3-2 on Nate Kinch, the shortstop for the Cardinals. Runner on first in the form of Brendan Gallagher.
Swan gets off the bag looking back at first to Gallagher, who did steal earlier on in the game.
Gallagher not too big of a lead over at first, and Kinch will drive one into right field.
Yep.
That'll be an Eddie's Auto Parts base hit, and that'll move Brendan Gallagher up to second, and then that'll also bring up Kyle Napinski, now the first baseman. So Napinski, so far, not a lot of success on the mound. Hopefully he can bring that gap a little closer and take himself out of the chances for getting the L tonight if he can drive a couple runs in and we can start right here.
Yes, he can. Actually, it is the Angels the Braves are playing.
Yeah.
So you are right. You are correct there. I thought maybe it was like a one game with the Angels in the series with the Dodgers. I don't know why I was thinking that for some reason.
There's so many teams in California, it's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Xavier Swan now with a 1-0 count. Comes back quickly with a fastball on the outside corner, and they'll bring the count even 1-1. Yeah, I really hoped as a Braves fan I was going to be able to see them play, Mike Trout, and obviously as Napinski turns on one, right fielder Billy Todd makes the play, but that will advance the runner Brendan Gallagher to third, so productive out if you're Kyle Napinski now with runners on the corners and one out.
Going back to the Braves real quick, Carson, hope you recover nicely from my guys taking 2 out of 3 from you at the weekend.
Well, they do get a break. Freddie Freeman's out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
but
this season doesn't count, man. After Freddie Freeman went down, the season just doesn't count.
Well, we're the same way with Madison Bumgarner in a way.
Yeah.
I'm in pretty good shape right now.
That brings up Brady Drennan, the third baseman, as he fouls one off, and first base coach can't make the play.
Paul Cochran could not make a play on that, but he...
Come on, man. You wear a jersey, you got to be able to make the play.
Got to have quicker cat-like reflexes than that.
He was a left fielder, so surprised he couldn't get to that.
Think, man.
I know, come on.
So with Drennan with the 0-1 count, he'll drive that one to center field. Going back is Bradley, and he will make the play, but that run will score from third. Brennan Gallagher in on the sacrifice fly from Brady Drennan, and Lincoln County has life. They're on the board now on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Now reads Lincoln County 1, Gastonia Post 23-5.
And the big thing about this here is Lincoln County doesn't have to just get 5 runs in one inning here. They can chip away at that lead, and hopefully Hoover can just pitch as well as he did this past inning.
It's always been a big key in sports. I always tell people there's not like there's not too many plays that are going to make up the whole deficit in one. You got to chip at it.
Right.
Yeah, especially in baseball, there's no clock you can run out. You're going to get your fair chances every time. Every half inning, you're going to get your chances as Tyler Johnson steps in, and he's quickly ahead on a 1-0 count. Xavier Swan, that time will pump a fastball in there.
No, you're going to get your fair chances unless you're playing that, I don't know where it was at, that high school softball pitcher that struck out every person she faced.
Yeah, the 21 strikeout perfect game.
Yeah.
Xavier Swan now with a 1-1 count, and Tyler Johnson will drive that towards center field, and Tyler Bradley with a great play out in left center field to end the inning.
Nice play from Bradley on the run. Almost fell down, but made the grab, and that ends the inning, Carson.
You're exactly right. So we'll go to the bottom of the third with your score. Lincoln County 1, Gastonia 5 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. We'll be right back.
When Auto Owners Insurance was founded in 1916, the world was quite different. Yet with all that's changed, our commitment to be there when you need us most hasn't. By teaming up with independent agents, we've made a difference for generations of customers, and will for generations to come. And by making a difference every day, 100 years seem to go by in a flash.
Your local Auto Owners Insurance Agency is Mooney Insurance Agency, located at 528 East Main Street in Maiden. Call 828-428-8231.
When you need to find a part at a price that's right, that red and blue sign is just within sight. Roll in to CarQuest and roll on. You know how good it feels when you do it yourself, and the parts you need are on a CarQuest shelf. When you want some help from a fellow car lover, it's all in one place, as you'll discover. Roll in to CarQuest and roll on.
Your CarQuest Auto Parts dealer is Eddie's Auto Parts, 2514 East Main Street in Lincoln.
In my mind, I'm gone to Carolina.
Welcome back inside Sims Legion Park. This is American Legion Baseball. Is now batting for Gastonia Post 23 is your first baseman and cleanup hitter, number 9, Jack Lowry. Lowry quickly ahead on 1-0 on Lane Hoover. Now Lowry will drive one towards the first baseman, and it'll skip right by Kyle Napinski. A tough hop right there for Napinski, and we'll see how that's ruled.
Yeah, Napinski kind of just misplayed it there.
And they'll rule it a hit.
Yeah, they're going to rule it a hit. It's a pretty close call there.
It's what some might call a homer call.
There you go.
Yeah, but definitely not been the best night for Napinski after having 2 solid outings. Just having a rough go. Got pulled in the first inning from pitching. Gave up 5 runs, all 5 runs, and then that error there.
So Wesley Summy now the batter as he takes ball 1 high. Jack Lowry, the first baseman, after reaching on what was ruled a hit, now at first. So Summy ahead 1-0 now, and he'll dribble one down along first. Napinski will take the sure route, and that'll move Jack Lowry to second base, so a productive out.
Yeah, that was kind of makeup there for Napinski.
Yeah.
Just get that easy out. Make sure you at least get one.
Yeah, don't want to Bill Buckner yourself over there on that one.
Oh, you had to bring that up to the Red Sox fan.
I did. You're exactly right. I did.
To be fair,
it's okay. Yeah, he should be over it by now. You've won like 3 World Series.
And I wasn't even alive for that. So.
Yeah, no, you're all right. That'll bring up the shortstop, number 7, Furman Osio, as he'll take strike 1 to start the at-bat. Lowry on second. Easter holding him there. Hoover takes a look back, and he'll throw towards home, and Osio will get underneath that, and he'll foul that one out of play.
Ooh, hit the stands.
Drive the count to 0-2.
Hits one of those seats. Disguised as one of those fans disguised as a empty seat.
Took it like a champ, though. And that'll move the count to 0-2 on the shortstop Osio.
He never even flinched.
He did not. I'll give it to him.
He didn't even flinch.
Lowry with a pretty conservative lead at second as Hoover will step off the rubber, wipe the sweat off his brow, and look back in for a new sign.
Yeah, Lowry can have a pretty conservative lead when he's up 4 runs. Just don't want to risk anything, though, too.
You're right. Hoover throws one in. It's popped up into foul territory, and no one will be able to make a play. That's what some might call the Bermuda Triangle out there in right field, is nobody's able to get to that one, and so Osceola will stay alive with an 0-2 count.
Yeah, it's a perfect word for it, Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, and it's tough, though, because you got so much room that a lot of this stuff can stay in play, but you have to cover so much ground if you're a guy like Tyler Johnson or Napinski that most of the time you can't get to it in time.
There's a ball high and outside from Hoover. Probably just a 0-2 pitch trying to get Osceola to chase, but good discipline as he'll take it for a ball, and the count will move to 1-2. Hoover looks back at his runner at second, and he fires one into Osceola that he hits right back into the netting. Count will stay at 1-2.
Nice job working the count right here.
Yeah, he has done a very good job of that.
So Osceola, the right-hander.
Another conservative lead from second. Easter shifts now to the right.
That'll be a ball down. That'll drive the count to 2-2.
Well, I should say from where I see it to the right, but he's going left.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that for you people listening in Radio Land.
Hoover looks back at the runner at second, fires towards home, and that'll be ball 3. So good patience right there from Osceola, as what was an 0-2 count has now gone full.
And I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but he did walk in his first at bat.
You're right. Yeah, you're exactly right. So a guy who's shown good patience already this game. Hoover looks back and fires, and Osceola gets underneath it. Shield ranging to his left. He's not going to be able to make the play. That'll drive in one run. Osceola, he will stop at second with a stand-up RBI double, and that'll push the lead now in the bottom of the third to 6-1 in favor of Post 23.
And Kenny Shields did a good job there of covering so much ground that it's just one of the disadvantages of playing in a park that's so big like this one right here.
Yeah.
He covered a lot of ground, but he still couldn't get there in time. So it led to another run coming across, making it a 5-run lead on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard once again.
Yep, 6-10 of the night for Gastonia as McCray, who also walked earlier, comes to the plate.
Yeah, 6 runs on 6 hits so far. Hoover looks back now at Osceola on second. He fires one in to McCray, and he fouls it back. I think that one might have got over top of us into the parking lot. So now McCray with an 0-1 count.
Way over to the right side, too.
Yeah. 0-1 count. Hoover gets his sign. Checks the runner at second. Checks him again. And he'll fire towards home, and McCray will... Great play by Jordan Easter. No, he does not keep it in his glove. And no, they're going to... McCray isn't aware. He doesn't know. And that will be a 4-6-3 putout.
Oh, my.
Mark that in your scorebook as a 4-6-3 putout. Jacob McCray thought he was out.
Oh, my goodness.
That's why you always go touch first no matter what.
Exactly.
And to make things worse, Napinski, I think, was kind of confused there for a moment. So he waited for about 6 seconds, and then he finally tagged the bag. So that could have easily been avoided. You had runners at the corners with 1 out. Instead, you got a runner at third with 2 outs.
Our executive producer, Kevin Asens, is getting quite a chuckle out of that over to the left of us.
And that'll bring up the second baseman, Jacob Thornburg, a guy who's already cleared the bases with a double tonight.
Yes, he has.
Oh, and he gets another, like you said, another good hit, and he'll get another RBI. So in your first 3 innings, the 8-man has 4 RBIs for you. You can't really plan for that sort of thing, as now on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, Gastonia leads Lincoln County 7-1.
They've already canceled out and scored another run from that run Lincoln County scored in the top half of the 3rd inning. Here
comes Brady Drennan to talk to Lane Hoover, probably asking about his dinner plans for later. You want Zaxby's or you want Chick-fil-A? He wants Zaxby's, and the meeting is over.
The Chuck Wagon's open late night as well. I got a buddy Trevor that runs that place.
So now batting the 9-spot hitter is Bray Wooten, the left fielder. Wooten puts a charge into that one, but it's right at Brady Drennan, takes his time, and that'll end the inning. So in the 5th, or excuse me, not in the 5th, in the bottom of the 3rd, 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors. Your score now on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard in the after 3 complete innings is Gastonia 7, Lincoln County 1. We'll be right back.
When Auto Owners Insurance was founded in 1916, the world was quite different. Yet with all that's changed, our commitment to be there when you need us most hasn't. By teaming up with independent agents, we've made a difference for generations of customers, and will for generations to come. And by making a difference every day, 100 years seem to go by in a flash.
Your local Auto Owners Insurance Agency is Mooney Insurance Agency, located at 528 East Main Street in Maiden. Call 828-428-8231.
When you need to find a part at a price that's right, that red and blue sign is just within sight. Roll in to CarQuest and roll on. You know how good it feels when you do it yourself, and the parts you need are on a CarQuest shelf. When you want some help from a fellow car lover, it's all in one place, as you'll discover. Roll in to CarQuest and roll on.
Your CarQuest Auto Parts dealer is Eddie's Auto Parts, 2514 East Main Street in Lincoln.
In my mind, I'm gone to Carolina.
Welcome back inside Sims Legion Park. I'm Carson Dockery, joined alongside by Evan Ludwig and Seth Eves. And if you haven't joined us, or if you're just now joining us, rather.
Where have you been?
Yeah, you've missed a pretty good ball game so far if you're a fan of Post 23. And if you're a fan of Lincoln County, there's a lot of time left. A lot of innings left as we're in the top of the fourth right now. And Hunter White, your catcher, is in the batter's box against Xavier Swan. And he'll put one through the 5.5 hole. And that will be Lincoln County's third hit of the ball game. And
yeah,
Hunter White's first of the night.
Yeah, just gets past the third baseman over there. So good way to start off the inning for Hunter White. Again, Lincoln trailing 7-1, as you see on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Smoke?
Yeah, and they've had a lot of opportunities to score. They've had 5 runners in scoring position that have been left on the bags. So they did finally get one in the last inning, but unfortunately, Gastonia scored 2 runs in the bottom half of the third inning. So now they've gotten that to a 6-run lead as Shields is at the plate. Swan hasn't had the best night pitching, but I think what really helps Swan right now is he's at home, and this defense is very familiar with Sims Legion Park, so they're able to get in the right spot at the right time, unlike Lincoln County, who's been struggling in the field tonight.
Yeah, Swan quickly, though, down 2-0 to Kenny Shield, the left fielder. Make that 3-0. And this is something that we've really seen Swan struggle with early, but he hasn't really paid the price for it yet, is being behind on a lot of hitters early. Swan on the 3-0 pitch, he'll get a gimme strike right there, and that'll move the count to 3-1.
But I think a good thing with being missing low, Carson, is whenever someone does get contact on it, most of the time it is going to be a grounder right to someone.
You're exactly right, and Swan will give up the walk on 5 pitches, so now with a runner in scoring position at second and 2 men on the bases overall, brings up your pitcher now, number 23, Lane Hoover.
Hoover 0 for 2 so far tonight.
You got to think Hoover on the mound now more than
ever. His cause.
Yeah, he's given up. Those last 2 runs are on him right now, so not only does he want to not lose this game just out of a competitive standpoint, you think he's going to want to cover for Kyle Napinski, make sure he doesn't take that L for himself.
Well, nice job. Hoover's thinking about bunting here, which would be a perfect opportunity to bunt.
Wesley Summey not really respecting his speed over there at third.
And as many fast guys as the Cardinals have, Hoover, I think, is the fastest. So if he can get the bunt in the right spot, it can easily be a base hit here as the catcher's going to go talk to Swan here. Also saw the catcher, I think, point towards the third baseman, but I don't know if that was a call to move him up a little bit, as the third baseman hasn't moved up.
Yeah, Wesley Summey sort of just seems like he might be in his own little world out there on the hot corner. But
update, we have 4 innings complete. Cherryville, Post 100, leading Kings Mountain by a score of 2-0.
Yeah, Cherryville comes into this game, I believe, 1-1. They've only played the doubleheader against Mint Hill, I believe.
As Swan fires a fastball for a strike. And that'll run the count to, I believe, that's right, 2-1. Swan looks back at his runner on second, checks him again, and he fires towards home. That one will be outside, and that'll run the count to your hitters count 3-1 on Lane Hoover.
Hoover, don't really be aggressive here. Just try and swing at anything close if you can.
Hoover that'll be a bloop towards center, and that should move everybody up 90 feet. And it will.
That's going to juice the bases.
Yeah, perfect opportunity here for Lincoln County to get back in this ball game as coach for almost called them the Braves, the Gaston Rebels. Is going to come out here for a mound meeting with the heart of the lineup coming up here for the Cardinals. Going to have to be careful here if you're Swan.
Gastonia. Well, hold on a minute. I'll find it here. Gastonia coached by Cobb.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Cobb. I believe it's Josh Cobb.
Cobb. Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but fairly certain it's Josh Cobb, and it looks like Xavier Swan's day is going to be over.
West End Sales call to the bullpen.
That will be it, and you're exactly right. It will be number 10. Who was that one more time, Seth?
I believe it is Isaac, I believe. Let me make sure that one more time here. It is, Isaac's his first name. It is Isaac Toval.
Isaac Toval, the new pitcher and the West End call to the bullpen for Gastonia Post 23. So Toval, a guy who not necessarily too large in stature, but obviously.
What do you do with Swan?
Well, yeah, you're right. Xavier Swan, a guy who's not necessarily big, but.
Well, he's going to have Isaac's going to have a tough place to come in here with the bases loaded and no outs here in the top half of the fourth inning. The good thing, though, for Isaac is that he has a 6-run cushion right now, so it's kind of a good news, bad news situation here for Isaac coming into this game in the fourth inning. Considering as the amount of struggles that Swan had at the plate with a lot of balls, he only gave up 1 run and 3 hits, so it's a pretty solid, I would say, outing for Swan. But definitely, I think the Rebels wanted to get a couple more innings out of Swan. You don't want to go into your bullpen in the fourth inning that much.
Yeah, and going into your bullpen in the fourth inning, leading 7-1 is never anything that I don't think any coach can really plan for. Seth, how many walks did Xavier Swan end up allowing?
2, 3, 4, 5. 6 base on ball walks, and then a hit by a pitch as well.
So 7 runners allowed to reach base outside of hits, and that's something. Even if you're up 7-1, like we said,
the thing is, Lincoln County only has 3 hits.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing is, if the bats heat up and get hot, you can't allow just free base runners on top of hits.
But I think it says a lot about your defense only giving up 1 run with all those. Guys
Easter,
that have gotten on base.
Now, Easter would be, I think he's the guy you'd want if you're Lincoln County.
Yeah, Jordan Easter, the second baseman, stepping in to face Isaac Toval. So Toval, the righty, toes the rubber now. Coming from the set, and Jordan Easter will foul one straight back to start off the AB.
Yeah, Easter being aggressive here with this new pitcher. Usually, I know when I would be at the bat and a new pitcher would come up, I'd usually wait for the first pitch that came close to me, or at least one pitch, and then be ready to go. But Easter's being aggressive here with the bases loaded.
Easter pops one up. This will be a tough play between the right fielder and the second baseman. Billy Todd calls him off, and no play at the plate is a very wise decision by Hunter White to hold up at third, and that'll be your first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the now center fielder, Brendan Gallagher.
Nice job by White just staying back. That would be a very bad decision because the right fielder was very shallow. It was a blooper popped up, and the right fielder would have easily gunned them down. He already gunned Jordan Easter down earlier.
Yeah.
Gallagher with a single and hit by a pitch.
So 1 for 1 in the scorebook so far is Gallagher. Toval gets the sign. Comes set and fires, and Gallagher will get a base hit into right center field. That'll score 1. Will it score 2? Here comes the runner, and yes, it will score 2 runs on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. So Lincoln County Lincoln County now only trailing by 4 with runners on the corners, and Nate Kinch is the batter.
Now you got your best hitter, in my opinion, coming up to the plate for the Lincoln County Cardinals. So you could easily get 1 more run with a base hit and then make it a 3-run game. And maybe, just maybe, if you hit it in the right spot, could get that runner from first to come all the way home. And Gallagher does have some speed on him.
So Nate Kinch, the batter. Shortstop, a left-handed batter. Toval gets his sign, checks the runner at first. And a big cut right there by Nate Kinch. He can't get around on the high fastball from Toval.
It was a good pitch, but like you said, it was a heavy cut from Kinch.
Yeah.
I know Kinch got a home run Sunday, but I don't think he could get a home run here, as you said, Carson, during the Carolina Trust Bank pregame show.
Toval comes, fires, and delivers, and that one will short hop.
My goodness.
And the catchers might have tried to just pump fake it, and either way, that'll end up in a double steal. So Lane Hoover hustling at third after Jordan McCray. I'm thinking he probably realized the situation right about when the ball was by his ear, and you don't. That's really what we've seen Lincoln County bait teams into doing this at Huntersville, where you have a double steal, where you send that guy from first, and the runner from third just takes off.
Well, a thought on that last play after this pitch.
All right, 1-1 count is Nate Kinch. As Toval gets a sign, looks back at the runner from second, and fires towards home, and it will be ball two.
It kind of helped Lincoln County, at least on that one base runner, when McCray threw that ball by as well as Bryce Harper threw that helmet yesterday.
Good one. There it is.
Yeah, I knew that one was coming.
Topical.
Yeah, and Hoover's just fast enough to beat out the throw as well.
Toval, again, with a fastball low, and that'll push the count to 2-1. Toval, really, the motion sort of reminds me of Billy Wagner, except out of a right-handed.
Good comparison, yeah. That's a good one to model yourself after. He's a pretty good closer.
Not bad. So Toval comes, fires again, and Kinch will hit this right at the second baseman.
Yeah.
Easy play, and the runner will move over to third, but now Lincoln County with 2 outs, as that brings up Kyle Napinski with a runner on third.
Your standard 4-3 put out there from by Kinch.
Yeah, Thornburg, a guy who has obviously had success with the bat in his hand and has made solid plays out there at second tonight.
Yeah, well, that kind of felt like a little bit of a sacrifice bunt there, basically.
Almost,
moved the runner over to third, but unfortunately you got 2 outs. Napinski's got to have to get a base hit here.
Big cut right there from Napinski. He's now behind 0-1 quickly to Toval.
And if Napinski can get the runner Gallagher home, that can make it a 2-run ball game.
Toval from his full motion now. He gets the strike call, low and inside corner. That moves the count to 0-2.
Yeah, Toval seems to have a whole lot more control than Swan with his pitches.
Toval again with the 0-2 count. Good 0-2 pitch right there.
As I jinxed him.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
That's a good 0-2 pitch, really. You want that 0-2 pitch to be something that isn't close to the plate, and it's something where if the batter does put a bat onto it, it's going to be an easy play for your infield. So Toval comes with the 1-2 pitch, and that will be inside. Good stop right there by McCray. That probably prevented Gallagher from scoring on what would have been the wild pitch.
You know, this catcher, we saw CC, the catcher for Huntersville, do a great job Sunday. I mean, it's amplified here, having to do a good job protecting these balls coming from out the backstop. Another nice stop there as well, making it a full count.
Looks like Toval maybe trying to throw that, maybe a back foot breaking ball, trying to get Napinski to roll over on it, but he won't take the bait, and now the count is run full. Toval with the payoff pitch, and Napinski just gets a piece of that to stay alive. 3-2 count still on the first baseman. So runner on third in the form of, I believe that's Brendan Gallagher, if I'm correct. Yeah, Brendan Gallagher, the center fielder. Full count, 2 outs on Kyle Napinski. Here's the pitch, and Napinski will drive that one to shortstop. Ocio with a good play, and that'll end the inning on the 6-3 putout. So Lincoln County able to tack on 3 runs and bring this to a much closer ball game. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th with the score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Lincoln County 4, Gastonia 7. We'll be right back.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Boger City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Drew, This new city just makes me miss home, man.
Go get a sweet tea from McDonald's. They make it fresh, sweet, and it's icy cold, just like your mom's.
But I miss home.
Oh, so you miss your mom telling you to make sure your room's clean? Or
Close the fridge, Ryan, and stop letting all the cool air out. Or turn them lights off,
All
Ryan.
right, got it. The sweet tea is just right. But you know I'm going to tell my mom you got jokes.
No, don't.
This is no joke. Stop by McDonald's and get a large sweet tea for just $1 all summer long. Large sweet tea, just $1. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only.
'Cause I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city.
Welcome back to Gastonia, North Carolina, inside Sims Legion Park. This is American Legion Baseball, and on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, we're in the bottom of the fourth. The Lincoln County Cardinals post 455 with 4 runs on the board, trailing the Gastonia post 23 Rebels with 7 runs on the board. Lane Hoover is the pitcher. And here he comes set on his first pitch to the leadoff man for Gastonia, and that's the center fielder, Tyler Bradley.
Yeah, you had a good offensive inning here for Lincoln County, scored 3 runs. Now you just got to get a quick inning and not allow any runs to come in, and that'll easily get you to chip away at the lead even more because they've scored in the last 2 innings. The offense is starting to come alive here.
So Hoover now with a 1-1 count on the leadoff man, Bradley. Ooh. And Bradley will hit that one towards second. Good backhand play by Jordan Easter, and an across-your-body throw for a 4-3 putout, and that's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, good little chopper there, but good job by Easter showing off his speed to scoop it up and make the throw to first. Well done defensive play there by Jordan Easter.
And that'll bring up the right fielder for Gastonia. That's Billy Todd, number 5.
And Easter already has shown off his athleticism tonight, even when he doesn't make the play.
So Todd, the right fielder, now in to face the left-hander Hoover, and Hoover's first pitch is a fastball up and away for ball 1.
Just missed it looked like.
So Todd, the left-handed hitter with a slightly open stance, and he'll see strike 1 come across the plate. Count will move to 1-1.
If you're watching on our YouTube page, we hope you enjoy this nice new HD picture.
Hoover tries to get the outside corner there, but can't do it. Count moves to 2-1.
They're experimenting with it during the Legion season. Hopefully it'll be all systems go for football season.
Yeah, exactly right. So Hoover comes with the 2-1 pitch, and he just can't find that outside corner right now as the count moves to 3-1.
And, of course, we already got the doubleheader against Mint Hill, and also got the game Saturday with Lincoln County and Kings Mountain, which was a really good one that went to extras.
Billy Todd, as he drives one out of the stadium onto what is now named Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Way.
That's right near that entrance sign for Sims Legion Park, I believe, if I'm correct.
Yeah, you're right at the entrance. And now Billy Todd looking at a full count. Lane Hoover with the payoff pitch, and Todd will hit one towards the 5.5 hole. Kinch puts a glove on it, and he's not going to be able to get the speedy Todd. A good throw and really a good play to just be able to get to that ball from Kinch, but obviously Todd with just a little bit of the wheels right there, and he'll reach first base safely, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, number 20, Jordan Beaver.
Well, but you got to think, plays like that is why we're going to see Nate Kinch and some Teal next year down in South Carolina. Even though he did not get the out, if it was an average person, he would have gotten him out. But unfortunately, the guy's got some wheels. Todd does.
So Jordan Beaver, the big right-handed designated hitter in.
1 for 2.
You're exactly right. 1 for 2 with a. How many RBIs was that on that double of his?
I think it was 2.
I believe it was 2, yeah.
So 2 RBIs.
Strikeout.
Yeah, 2 RBI double to his credit as well as a run. And he's down 0-1 quickly to Lane Hoover as he takes a look over at Todd and fires towards home. And that one will get past Hunter White for a wild pitch, and Billy Todd will easily take second and round second, as really any good base runner should here, and take that look towards the backstop.
Yeah, and Billy Todd, he was looking back to Hunter White about 2 times right as he got past the second base. So he's well aware of how you need to run the bases here at Sims Legion Park.
So Hoover now with a 1-1 count on the designated hitter Beaver. Hoover shakes off a sign, then he gets what he wants. Looks back at his runner at second and fires towards home, and Beaver will pop it up, and looks like that play will be made by the right fielder, Tyler Johnson, and he will. Billy Todd sort of feigns an attempt at third, and he'll stay right at second, and that will be the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Jack Lowry, a North Gaston Wildcat.
Lowry, 1 of 2, popped up in the first, singled in the third.
So really contributions up and down the entire post-23 lineup so far tonight. And that's really what you need when you're going to have 7 runs come the bottom of the 4th. Hoover looks back at his runner at second base and fires a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1.
At this point, I wouldn't be as much concerned if I was Hoover with the runner at second, unless the ball gets past Hunter White here.
Yeah, nobody even really holding him on right there as he takes a look back again. Fires towards home again, and Lowry will have another single. They're going to send him, and he will score easily on the single. The Eddie's Auto Parts base hit will land Jack Lowry, or excuse me.
Yeah, Jack Lowry's.
That is Jack Lowry.
Yeah, it's him with a base hit.
That's Jack Lowry with a base hit and an RBI, and that will move the score on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard to Gastonia 8, Lincoln County 4 in the bottom of the 4th.
And that makes 3 out of 4 innings that Gastonia has scored a run. Can't have that happen if you're Lincoln County trying to get back in this ball game.
So Hoover now facing third baseman Wesley Summey as Hunter White not able to corral that one, and Lowry able to move up 90 feet.
Summey 1 of 2 tonight, singled and grounded out.
Yeah, Hunter White's definitely, I think, struggling tonight. I think he's not used to having Hoover and Lipinski as pitchers, and with this backstop, I think it might be troublesome for him that he's not used to a backstop this big.
Yeah, Lane Hoover, though, able to get a strike right there, and that'll bring the count even 1-1 with 2 outs on the third baseman, Wesley Summey. So Lowry out at second. Hoover takes a look back at him, and then he'll fire one into Summey. This one should end the inning. Kinch to Lipinski, and that'll be a 6-3 putout. So Gastonia gets 1 run on 1 hit, and that will run the score to 8-4 on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. We'll be right back with the 5th inning coming up on WLON 1050 AM and KTC Broadcasting.
Think your dream home is out of reach? Think again. At Silver Point Homes in Lincoln, they provide quality custom construction and the luxury amenities you want at an exceptional value. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an empty nester looking to downsize, we have the perfect home for you. Visit silverpointhomes.com to learn more or stop by our Lincoln Sales Center to tour our model homes. Let our friendly staff help you visualize your dream. Silver Point Homes, making your dream home a reality. New models now on display. Silver Point Homes, East Main Street, Lincoln. You're invited to drop by and see our brand new big showroom. Now open at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Yes, it's big, it's bright, and it's full of great deals on Chevrolets, Buicks, and GMC trucks. Hey, it's truck month. Come in now and get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $5,500 total cash allowance on the 2017 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab. Come in for all the details at the all-new Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC truck, 1445 East Main Street, Lincoln.
Welcome back to Gastonia, North Carolina, inside Sims Legion Park. I'm Carson Dockery, joined by Seth Eves and Evan Ludwig. If you're listening on the radio, you're on WLON 1050 AM. If you're watching online, I want to thank Ronaldo Auto Mall, our title sponsor, as now Brady Drennan, the batter for Lincoln County, the third baseman.
Yeah, we've seen this offense start to come alive a little bit here for the Cardinals. See if they can try to continue that hot streak here against Isaac, who's now pitching in his first full inning for the Rebels.
So Toval now quickly ahead 0-1 on Drennan, and that fastball can't find the zone. Count will move to 1-1. Top of the 5th here from Sims Legion Park. As Toval comes, fires, and that one will be a ball. Just missed the outside corner, and the count will run to 2-1.
Yeah, real close. It seems like this ump is really tight on the strike zone on those outside corner calls.
Yeah, seems like he's a little more generous on the inside corner, though, as Brady Drennan sends one a mile high. That one might hit the roof. Nope. So Brady Drennan now facing a 2-2 count. The left-handed hitting third baseman. No batting gloves for him. He's a tough guy.
Yeah, he's old school.
Toval fires the 2-2 fastball, and that one looked low, so that'll run the count full 3-2.
Of course, his dad was a minor league player, played with Trot Nixon. I used to work out with him and work on my game, and as he fouls this one off, a line drive.
Yeah. And again, he should have made the play.
You're right.
Goes all the way out of the field, but he had a batting cage in his backyard, so he's grown up with baseball his whole life, and he's going to be continuing to play it in college.
Good for him. So Drennan now will draw the walk. He'll scurry on down to first.
And where is Drennan playing his college ball again?
He's going to be playing at Surrey College, where a couple other former Knights and Daniel Thompson and Sam Corey, who is currently here now. I think they just made the Nationals tournament, so I don't know how far they made it. Nice little program. I think it's near Asheville in that area.
Yeah, Surrey County, yeah. We've, just working for the Grizzlies, we see a lot of colleges and a lot of weird colleges, and I've definitely seen Surrey come up more than once.
You've seen them all from Surrey College to NC State Russell Wilson.
Hey, man. I'm not going to talk about Russell Wilson's time with the Grizzlies as Tyler Johnson takes ball 1. He's a guy that I think he made the right life choice in playing football. That's all I'm going to say. I think he made the best choice possible.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Brady Drennan's got a pretty big lead at first, as he's pretty aggressive with those leads.
Tyler Johnson will take a strike right there, and that'll move the count to 1-1. Toval looks over at first, checks on Drennan. Now he'll fire towards home, and that one will be too far inside, and count will run to 2-1 now. Pretty good night for baseball out here.
Oh, yeah, nice breeze.
Park.
Beautiful night.
It was pretty windy earlier, but, it's calmed down now as Toval fires another strike in there to run the count to 2-2.
Now watch, you say that 5 minutes later, everything's going to be blowing off again.
Only when you point it out, man. You got to let it go naturally and see what happens.
As long as we don't see raindrops, we're fine.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Toval now with a 2-2 count. He'll leave that one high to Johnson. He'll run the count full to his second straight batter to start the inning.
Yeah, not good for Toval to have 2 straight full counts, especially early on in the 5th inning. Don't know how long Coach Kopp wants to get out of Toval here, but I would think it'd be somewhere around 3 innings.
Toval fires on the full count offering, and that will be a walk for Tyler Johnson, and that'll bring up the catcher now, Hunter White. Hunter White, a guy who we've seen make some pretty good plays at times behind the plate, and other times maybe not so much. Definitely one of those better plays was on that 7-2 putout, or 8-2 putout, excuse me, and a great tag where White had to leave his feet to go get the ball and then come back down and apply the tag, and he did just that.
Well, it looks like Toval might have a short leash as I see number 11 going out to the bullpen.
White walked and had a single.
So White now 1 for 1 in the scorebook with a walk, now up quickly on the Gastonia post 23 pitcher, 1-0. Toval comes back quickly, and White will foul that one straight back into the netting and run the count even, 1-1.
Big opportunity here if Hunter White could get on base any way possible. You could get the bases loaded or score a run. They're down 4 runs, so you cut into that lead a little bit in the last inning. If they can cut into it some more, that could be big.
Hunter White takes a big cut at a high fastball that he can't get a piece of, and that'll run the count to 1-2.
Yeah, he seems a little bit frustrated about swinging at that one.
Yeah, but as a right-handed hitter, we talked about that Sunday. It's just they're up there, and man, they look meaty, and it's hard to turn them down sometimes. So Toval with the 1-2 count on White, and he will sit him down looking. A backwards K for Toval and a good slider. And that'll be the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Kenny Shield.
That's definitely what you need if you're Toval. You got no outs, and you got runners at first and second. Trying to hold on to a 4-run lead, get a strikeout look, and that's going to help your confidence a lot.
You're exactly right. So Shield, the right-hander, stepping into the box. Toval takes a look back at second. He fires one in there for ball 1.
Shield singled and walked tonight.
He's had a pretty good night, too.
Seems like a lot of guys have singled and walked.
Well, Swan giving up 6 walks and hit 1 batter. It's going to happen.
Yeah, Shield fouls one off the plate right there, and that'll run the count even, 1-1.
Again, it's Same thing scoreboard. If you just join us, you can see top of the fifth. We've missed quite a game. We're in the top of the fifth, and we've already had 12 runs combined and 14 combined hits.
Yeah, pretty entertaining game so far.
If you are into a lot of hits in a ball game, that is.
You're right.
If you're a pitcher aficionado, it's not your game.
Kenny Shield will foul one back into the netting, and that'll run the count to 1-2. And you're exactly right. So many people assume, you want to sit down and you want to watch a baseball game and you want to see a lot of runs. Not everybody wants to see a lot of runs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people do like to sit down and watch good pitching, and it's something that is really underappreciated to sit down and watch a good pitcher's duel. Toval, a good breaking ball right there with 2 strikes, and that'll run just a bit outside, and that'll take the count to 2-2.
I don't know what it was on Sunday, but I know with Lincoln County, we've had a lot of high-scoring games. It was a high-scoring game Saturday. What was the final score on Sunday?
14-3, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, man. And a shot down
foul.
there. Yeah, just foul off the bat of Kenny Shield. Count will remain at 2-2. Yeah, a lot of offense Sunday, definitely.
That's one thing we've noticed so far with the Cardinals. Even though they only have 4 and they're losing tonight, this team looks like they're going to be scoring a lot of runs here.
4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error the line for Lincoln County. 8 runs on 9 hits and 1 error for Gastonia. As Toval takes that easy play, and that's going to be a 1-3 putout, but a productive out as both runners move up. And 2 runners in scoring position now with 2 outs as the lineup card goes back to the top, and it's now Lane Hoover.
I got to say here, Lincoln County's already left 5 runners on base here in this ball game. You can't get it up to 7 when you're down 4 runs about halfway through this game. So Lane Hoover's going to have to get a base hit or at least get on base here in this situation.
So Hoover, the lefty now in the batter's box. Toval, the righty, takes a look over at third, and first pitch will be a ball high. Count goes to 1-0.
It's almost at Hoover's head.
Yeah. Hoover takes a couple practice swings. Toval looks in for the sign. Looks over to third, and he'll come home with the pitch. And Hoover will hit that one up into the air. Will that stay in play? Summy, I believe, might have lost that one in the lights. Maybe not even really knowing exactly where it was. But either way, that'll land in foul territory, giving Lane Hoover another opportunity with the count at 1-1.
I think it was just the ball was placed in that right spot to where no one could get it in time, and it didn't have the hang time for the Rebels to get to it.
So Toval sort of taking his time, getting the feel of the ball. Looks in for his sign from McCrae. Gets his sign, looks back at the runner from second, and fires towards home. Hoover, that's a high pitch, but he turns on it. Billy Todd, does he? No, almost. Billy Todd laid out for it. And he almost throws Lane Hoover out at second, so a tough play, a great effort out there from Billy Todd, but that'll be a 2-run double for Lane Hoover, and that'll push the score.
Got a game again.
Yeah, that'll push the score on the first Federal Savings Bank scoreboard to Lincoln County 6, Gastonia 8.
And if I'm Coach Cobb, I'm not mad at Todd there. He gave maximum effort.
Yeah.
It just wasn't his play in that situation. But, man, you got to love the effort there from Todd. Not only did he almost make the catch there, a diving catch, he almost got Hoover out, who's exceptionally a fast runner. So, very talented job there by Todd, even though he didn't get the play.
That'll bring up Jordan Easter, the second baseman, and Toval on the first pitch of the AB. Looks like that's a breaking ball that just rode out of the strike zone. That'll be 1-0.
Walked and also had a couple of groundouts tonight.
So Easter, not one of the 5 hits tonight so far for Lincoln County. Toval fires one in there, and that one's elevated out towards foul territory. Can Todd make the play? Yes, he can. An ending inning FF9 for your scorebooks. As now your scoreboard reads, Lincoln County 6, Gastonia 8. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 5th here on WLON, 1050 AM.
Unless the Lord builds a house, its builders labor over it in vain. This is from Psalm 127, and this is the key verse that Key Builders in Lincoln is built on. Key Builders in Lincoln is large enough to do what the big boys do, but small enough to be personal. Bring your own plans or visit the website at keypropertiesnc.com and take a look at theirs. They have homes for everyone. So call your local hometown builder, Key Builders, 704-735-0040, or visit their office at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too. The Chuck Wagon Grill in Lincoln wants to take this time to wish Trevor Childers of the East Lincoln Mustangs the best of luck during this high school baseball season. Trevor pitches and plays outfield for the Mustangs, and the Chuck Wagon Grill is proud to be a sponsor of high school baseball. And for award-winning food, head to the Chuck Wagon Grill for some great daily lunch and dinner specials. And they do catering for any size event. Just call 704-732-4777. The Chuck Wagon Grill, 3051 Highway 27 east of Lincoln. Go Mustangs!
Welcome back to Gastonia, North Carolina, Sims Legion Park, and we've got a new pitcher on the mound for Lincoln County. Who is it, Seth?
Tavin Johnson, number 7.
Tavin Johnson, a left-hander.
So every pitcher we've seen tonight from the Cardinals have been a left-handed pitcher. Pretty rare you see that. But I got to say, Lane Hoover did a tremendous job coming in relief effort. Only gave up 3 runs in the situation where a lot of them, it's just the balls were hitting areas that, with this ballpark being so big, it's so tough to cover. But I think Hoover did a pretty solid job as he's now back in center field. And
Tyler Johnson's still in right. Looks like Kyle Napinski is going to still be at first. So, yeah, it's just going to be a straight up. Who are we going to swap him for?
I'm trying to see if they got Gallagher still in there. I think Gallagher might be at left field now. So I think Shields is probably done for tonight.
So, first pitches from the new arm on the mound for Lincoln County be ball 1. What's his name? Tavin Johnson. So Tavin Johnson now quickly down 2-0 on his first batter of the night. And that's the shortstop in the 6-hole, number 7, Furman Osio.
Yeah, Tavin Johnson's going to have to come in here, be good, just try to keep it at 8 runs here as Lincoln County's trying to creep back into this ball game as this one gets fouled off.
Yeah, Osio fouls that one right back into the netting, and that'll move the count to 2-1. So Tavin Johnson, like we mentioned, the third left-handed pitcher in for Lincoln County tonight as Osio drives that one towards right center, and Tyler Johnson will camp underneath that one. That's a can of corn for the first out.
I mean, he just
the bottom of the 5th.
He had to move about 5 feet, and that was it. That was pretty easy out for Johnson.
And that will bring up the backstop for Gastonia, the catcher, Jacob McCray.
Jacob McCray walked and also grounded into a 4.63 putout.
Yeah, if that's how we want to very gingerly talk about that easy 4.63 putout, is now McCray drives one into right field. If that stays fair, it is fair, right on the line. If that was Chuck out there in the grass, we would have seen a big plume of it come up. As he is on base with an Eddie's Auto Parts base hit.
Oh, yeah, I'm at short-term memory loss. McCray, he was involved in that comedy of errors the last time he was at the plate.
Yeah, if you want to call that errors, that's just a play where, obviously you see a big effort out of Jordan Easter, but
here's Jacob Thornburg. Now, he's been solid tonight.
Yeah, Jacob Thornburg, the second baseman, but McCray, man, that's just got to be ingrained in your DNA as a baseball player. Just go touch first.
Just in case, yeah.
Yeah, Thornburg takes strike 1 to begin his AB.
Well, he kind of made up for it here in this situation.
Yeah.
And now Thornburg at the plate. What is he at? 4 RBIs already in this game?
And out of your 8-spot hitter is he fouls one back into the netting, and that'll drive the count to 0-2.
And when your 8-spot hitter's 2 for 2 and driving in RBIs, that's a sign that you're going to end up having a pretty good night.
Yeah, you're exactly right. With a single and a double to his credit, halfway to the cycle Thornburg, as he now drives one towards the shortstop. That's going to be a 6-4 and a fielder's choice. So no double play on that one, as Thornburg's legs take that out of play and turn what was a double play into a 4-6 putout, or 6-4 putout, and a fielder's choice, and that'll bring up now the left fielder in the 9 spot, Ray Wooten.
Wooten is 0 for 2 tonight. He flew out to center and grounded out.
Yeah, but it seems like Wooten's strong suit has been in the field, just really tracking down all those fly balls that have gone in his area, and he can gun down a throw or two. As we got
I think the fire department is coming.
Yeah, or something like that.
On the interstate, apparently.
So Tavin Johnson now toes the rubber once again, as that is really starting to get annoying.
I'm about to ask you, does that happen often here?
That's never happened here. There it goes.
It's off. There we go.
Tavin Johnson now 0-1 count in his favor.
Oh, my goodness. We're having too much fun up here tonight.
I have no idea what that was, man.
I think it's an 18-wheeler.
Bray Wooten takes a bad cut right there, and that'll.
I think it's an 18-wheeler saying, listen, Slowpoke, I got a deadline to meet. Get out of my way. I got to haul tail.
Yeah, it can get pretty dicey on I-85.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Yeah, you don't have to be in Atlanta for I-85 to be pretty sketchy. As Bray Wooten drives it into right field, and that'll land for his first hit of the ball game in the. It's either 10th or 11th for Gastonia on the night.
Just think of the one difference here, Carson. At least here with 85 in this part, at least you don't have to worry about the roads falling apart.
Well, I mean, not collapsing. Not to say that they don't fall apart.
Someone had made a meme about that. Welcome to Atlanta, where the roads rise up, but our football team can't.
Oh.
I was a Falcons fan that actually made it.
Okay, well, all right. Self-deprecating humor is Tyler Bradley, the center fielder and leadoff spot man, makes his way into the box. He fouls one off, and that really was the most Falcons way to lose that Super Bowl.
It was.
Ever.
You're not kidding.
I mean, and the thing is, Matt Ryan, that was his whole persona coming out of college was Matty Ice. He's a guy who wins big games and is able to take command of big moments as Bradley fouls one off to the left side this time. And
yeah. Could have used a little bit of help from his defense, too.
Well, that defense was on the field for almost 100 plays.
And the play calling could have been better.
Yeah, and you wonder how
Why does people play calling against the Patriots? Like Seattle a couple of years ago, and then Atlanta this time.
It's like they have a bug in
They're playing not to lose, which, with my college football team, I know all about that feeling of playing not to lose and how that can cost you.
Bradley fouls one back into the netting, and the count will remain at 0-2.
Yeah.
But we're good at life championships, anyway.
It'd be nice here for Lincoln County to get out of this inning without any runs. Loud. As I said last inning, they've had 3 to 4 innings so far. Gastonia has scored runs.
Here's a pitch.
It's going to be a breaking ball outside, and both runners will be safe. On the, I don't really want to call that a double steal necessarily.
No.
I'm going to say that Bray Wooten advanced on the throw on that one.
No, and
the fact that there was just literally no one covering second.
Two in scoring position for the Rebels.
Yeah, you're exactly right. With 2 outs now, a 1-2 count.
But nice
on
job,
Bradley.
Nice job by Brady Drennan playing that one safe there.
Oh man, Bradley knew it. Strikeout looking, and a big one for Tavin Johnson. As now we'll go to the top of the 6th with your score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Lincoln County 6, Gastonia 8. We'll be right back.
Unless the Lord builds a house, its builders labor over it in vain. This is from Psalm 127, and this is the key verse that Key Builders in Lincoln is built on. Key Builders in Lincoln is large enough to do what the big boys do, but small enough to be personal. Bring your own plans or visit the website at keypropertiesnc.com. And take a look at theirs. They have homes for everyone. So call your local hometown builder, Key Builders, 704-735-0040, or visit their office at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too. The Chuck Wagon Grill in Lincoln wants to take this time to wish Trevor Childers of the East Lincoln Mustangs the best of luck during this high school baseball season. Trevor pitches and plays outfield for the Mustangs, and the Chuck Wagon Grill is proud to be a sponsor of high school baseball. And for award-winning food, head to the Chuck Wagon Grill for some great daily lunch and dinner specials. And they do catering for any size event. Just call 704-732-4777. The Chuck Wagon Grill, 3051 Highway 27 east of Lincoln. Go Mustangs!
Welcome back inside Sims Legion Park. I'm Carson Dockery, joined by Evan Ludwig and Seth Eves. And if you're just joining us, the offense keeps on coming. We're in the top of the 6th with the score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Lincoln County 6, Gastonia Post 23 8. As now batting is what we believe he's a left fielder now,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Brandon Gallagher, the now left fielder, as he takes ball 1 to start this AB against Toval.
He signaled bunt, and now he swings a pretty big cut on the outside, but Gallagher's started in right field, I believe, and he's moved to left field. So.
And, this is a huge inning for him here because they had the big strikeout last time when the Gastonia could add more runs. As that one, that's got a
make
chance.
the play, Smoke, make the play,
Got a chance! Oh man!
Oh, that go to the
Smoke,
parking lot.
where's that big KD range wingspan that we were talking about, that 8-foot? I'm expecting you to just go like Michael Jordan in Space Jam and just like.
I'm not genetically superior, to say the least.
That is, I can speak to that as well. But anyway, but now this is big for Lincoln County because they get a couple runs here. We got a tie game, baby.
Yeah, they've been chipping away at this lead, and the defense has really been stopping Gastonia these last few innings. Finally got them to not score a run for the first time since the second inning. So this is big here. And you got the 3, 4, 5 spot. Real close to strike 3 there.
McCray almost started to throw it around the horn right there on the 1-2 count. He believed that it was strike 3, but the man in blue did not. So 2-2 count now with a possible payoff pitch, and Brandon Gallagher swings through it, and now they can throw it around the horn. As that is the first out of the top of the 6th, and that'll bring up. Let me flip my card. That might help. That brings up the shortstop.
Yeah, it would.
Number 14, Nate Kinch.
And Nate Kinch, of course, had the homer Sunday night. He had a base hit, I believe, in his last at-bat, so let's see if he can keep it rolling here.
Walked, singled, and had a 4-3 sack, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
Kinch turns on one on the first pitch, and it's a foul ball down the right side.
First base coach is trying to kick it instead of actually making a play.
Yeah, not quite a kick save, but good hustle right there for number 21, man. All running the entire length of the fence.
I almost feel bad we're giving this guy so much grief tonight.
He'll be all right. He can't hear it.
That's true.
Strike 2 called on a good breaking ball right there from Toval, and now the count has moved to 0-2 on the shortstop, Nate Kinch.
Nate Kinch falls behind the count quickly here. See if he can defend the plate.
Ooh, Toval trying to find that outside corner. He can't find it there. That'll move the count to 2-2, I believe.
Yeah, that was a little bit more further out than the last one that they thought was strike 3. So looks like, as you said earlier, Carson, this ump's not really giving that many outside corner calls.
That time, McCray he's able to corral that one. He'll go out and have a little word with Toval, and they'll figure out what they're going to do on this now 2-2 pitch. So as we talked about earlier, guys, or you asked me, when Gastonia was starting, as Kinch, is able to foul that one off right there, as it'll stay a 2-2 count. CPL action is already started up across North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and Georgia, as the defending champion Savannah Bananas.
They were here the other night, I believe.
Yeah, they were. That was as an exhibition game, so no real bearing on the standings. As Osio knocks that one down, he's frustrated with himself. He thought he was going to have a chance to make that play, as that one just sort of skips right out of his glove right as he puts it down there, but a good effort nonetheless from Osio.
Yeah, Osio just couldn't do much there. It's just where the ball was at. He couldn't make the grab, and unfortunately, looked like it hit he landed on it when it was on his stomach there, so
yeah.
Looked like it kind of hurt. Luckily, he's all right.
And they do score that as a hit, by the way.
Yeah, and that they should. He ranged really far to his left, and that'll bring up first baseman Kyle Napinski. Napinski, the left-handed hitting first baseman, and takes strike 1.
I think you had it right the first time. It's one of the things where it sounds a little bit weird, but then when you say it again, you did say it right.
Yeah, it's sort of like you said, I had to just hear it twice almost.
And even though this ump was blooper.
Napinski, that'll be a bloop single into center field, and we might. No, Bradley was thinking about just that, trying to pull a Billy Tide and hose a runner on his way from first to second. Can't do it. So Napinski will land on first with a single, and now with 2 runners on base, 1 in scoring position, here comes Brady Drennan, the third baseman,
who had 4 RBIs in the game Sunday. So he could get a couple more RBIs to his stat sheet here with a base hit. But I was going to say with this ump, even though he's not giving much for the outside corner to these pitchers, he's being as a foul ball is hit by Drennan going out of play.
Yeah.
That was hit a good ways, but fortunately hooked it way to the right.
Home run in a telephone booth.
Yeah. This ump is really lenient on those inside strike zone calls.
See, if we were in England, it'd be a great home run.
Oh, yeah,
with
you're
the telephone booth. But unfortunately, we're not in England. We're in the United States of America.
I can't think of the last time I saw a telephone booth, I'll be honest.
They don't make payphones anymore.
Yeah, they don't. So Toval right there comes back with a good 0-1 breaking ball. And I think really, Evan, what's contributing to that is the umpire's positioning. If you notice, a lot of the times on the batter, he's favoring that in between. That they're like right now, we've got Brady Drennan, our left-handed hitting third baseman, as he strikes out, but he's over the right shoulder of Jacob McCray. So he's really got a good vantage point of that inside strike, but he's probably having to guess a little bit on the outside as Tyler Johnson makes his way up to the plate.
Huge now with 2 outs. You do not want to leave 2 more runners stranded on if you're the Cardinals.
Yeah, 1 in scoring position and 1 at first in the form of Kyle Napinski, and now Tyler Johnson, the right fielder, takes strike 1.
Of course, as I said earlier, I think at least 7 base runners have been left in scoring position so far for the Cardinals, and right now they're down 2 runs. And time is starting to wind down a little bit.
Toval on the 0-1 pitch. He leaves that one wide. Will run the count to 1-1. Once again, your line scores as of right now: Lincoln County 6 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. Gastonia with 8 runs on 11 hits and 2 errors. Toval looks his runner back at second and fires one towards home, and once again can't find the outside corner now on the right-handed hitting Tyler Johnson. So Thornburg, Jacob Thornburg, the second baseman, shading over to cover. Jacob Lowry letting Kyle Napinski get a pretty good lead over there at first as he's not covering. Toval comes and fires, and Johnson will hit it right, and it looked like it went off the glove of Jacob Lowry right over there at first as 1 run will score on what will be a single if he can get back. Yes, he can. So that's a 1-run base hit. An Eddie's Auto Parts base hit, an RBI one at that for Tyler Johnson. And as now the score sits at 8-7.
And folks, we have a baseball game.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
And here in the top of the 6th.
Tying run is 90 feet away, and Lincoln County's been slowly chipping away at this lead. They were down at least 6 runs in the 3rd inning, but they have gotten back in this ball game thanks to the hitting of Lincoln County that has been hot to start this year. As Hunter White's coming up to the plate, did get a base hit earlier in the 5.5 hole. If he can get one there, he can easily score Napinski at 3rd.
So, as we talked about, Hunter White stepping into the box, right-handed hitting catcher. Slightly open stance as he gets comfortable, and Toval comes, and that one will stay up high for ball 1. Runners on the corners for Lincoln County in the form of Kyle Napinski at 3rd. And Tyler Johnson at first. Yeah, thank you. Toval comes, and that one will be ball 2, as that one is low and inside on the Lincoln County catcher White.
Great stop by the catcher there.
Yes.
He had to crouch himself, basically lie in a fetal position there for a moment and just hold on to the ball, make sure it didn't get past him.
That's a term I didn't think I'd be hearing on the broadcast tonight, fetal position. Then again, you never know what will happen with Legion baseball with us 3 together.
So on a 2-0 pitch, Toval can't find the outside corner. That'll move the count to 3-0.
And I think Toval's having a tough time on the outside corner with these right-handed batters because, unlike most teams, there's been so many left-handed batters for the Cardinals. It's been tough trying to, get used to left-handed batters. As inside pitch almost hit Hunter White. He'll go on down to first base on the 4-pitch walk. As now Coach Cobb just leaps on out. We might see ourselves a Weston Sales call to the bullpen.
Yeah, looking like that might be exactly it. And it looks like it's going to be number 11 will be the new pitcher for Gastonia Post 23. As Toval really came in, pitched pretty well in relief of Xavier Swan.
Looking here. Hold on a minute.
No, you're fine. Take your time, bud.
I didn't mean to say. I didn't realize we're still on the air.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
What number you said? 11.
Yes, sir. Number 11 for
All right.
Gastonia Post 23.
If I can get the.
will be
now
another
my
left-handed
pictures are all
pitcher.
over the place. Hold on, Mosey. All right. I believe we have got it now. Number 11 would be Slayton Fletcher.
Slayton Fletcher, now the fourth left-handed pitcher to be used in the ball game, even though left-handers only make up about 10 to 13% of the world's population.
Well, my mother's a left-handed player.
There you
Lefties
go.
are-
Not a player. She's a left-handed
She's
person.
a left-handed. Well, I mean, I didn't need to know that she's a player, but but you know, your mother lives her own life. And,
Oh, God,
and,
Carson.
And she does. She's an adult. She's a consenting adult. She can do whatever she pleases.
Well, I'll say this: lefties are in their right mind.
There it is.
Oh, God.
It takes one to know one. it makes me proud seeing all these lefties out here, but Fletcher's got a tough situation as Toval came out with the bases loaded and 2 outs. He's going to try to end an inning with the tying run at third base. So
We need to get the game back on. This broadcast is going south quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah.
One of my best friends come up with that saying, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
It's pretty good.
pretty good, yeah.
So we're inside Sims Legion Park. One more time, we'll give you the line score right now. If I can read the scoreboard, 7 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for Lincoln County, 8 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors for Gastonia. Lincoln County getting those runs, 1 run in the third, 3 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and 1 in the top of the sixth. Gastonia with 5 in the first, 2 in the third, and 1 in the fourth.
Here's Tavin Johnson, the pitcher.
What a big opportunity for Johnson here as he did a good job in his first inning of relief pitching. Now he has an opportunity. If he can get a good crack at the ball here, he could get himself the tie ball game or even the lead, depending on how well he can hit it.
Yeah, Tavin Johnson, the lefty throwing but right-handed hitting pitcher. He takes a big cut on the first pitch he sees, and he'll go down on the count 0-1 to start.
Yeah, big cut there from Johnson.
That's something you might not necessarily even be mad about seeing if you're the coach. You want him to maybe take his cuts and get warmed up. That one's a ball, a good take from Johnson, and the count on move to 1-1.
And Johnson is in the 9 hole as Lane Hoover is on deck.
Yep.
So go back to the top of the lineup, but you want Johnson to keep this inning alive with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
Bases loaded now, 2 outs. And that one will be a ball and run the count to 2-1. And you got to think right here, McCray definitely has to be on his toes, or as they say in hockey, on his head. Ready for anything, a breaking ball that might just bounce in. Big cut right there from Johnson on probably what would have been ball 3,
Yeah.
and now the count will move to Deuces Wild. 2 runs, or excuse me, not 2 runs, 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs.
Well, yeah, and with the way that this ump has been calling these outside corner calls, it probably would have been ball 3.
Mm-hmm. Johnson spanks one, and a good play from Lowry. Can he get up and finish the play? No, bad throw. So 1 run has scored, 2 runs have scored. Is it going to be a third? No, he's going to hold Hunter White up at third.
Wow, Lincoln County is
So
taking
what
the
a
lead.
play right there as 2 runs cross the plate. And that will put your score on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard to Lincoln County 9, Gastonia 8.
That's
and
going to
the
get
Cardinals with their first lead of the night.
And confirmation on the scoreboard, that's going to be scored as an E3.
As it should.
I would imagine. I mean, boy, Gastonia thought they were home and dry, and now all of a sudden they've given up. Not only that, they're down. They're down by a run.
But obviously,
what a game.
Lincoln County's had time to come back. Gastonia we still have 3
they're not out of this.
Yeah, 3 innings to go.
We're in
so
for a wild
time.
finish.
Lane Hoover will foul one off right there to start his at bat.
And I think what made the play in error is because Lowry, I think, was caught off guard of how Johnson was getting there so quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then the pitcher just didn't get there as quick as I think Larry Faldy could. And then he rushed the throw, which really hurt him, and it was behind. And that cost Gastonia the lead.
Hoover will foul one out of play, and then I'm going to push the count to 0-2 with 2 outs on the center fielder.
I'm going to say it again. If you're just now tuning in, where have you been? I mean, this game, you have a feeling this game's going to go right down to the very end, folks. This has been a fun, entertaining game, at least for me to watch. I don't know about y'all. I mean, I know y'all might be more pitchers duel than I am, but I do enjoy a good game. There's a swing and a miss.
Well, there's nothing wrong with a good offensive showing, as that will be a strikeout and a 2-3 putout to end the inning. So in the top of the 6th, Lincoln County scores 3 runs to take the lead over Gastonia Post 23. We'll be right back. This is WLON 1050 AM and KTC Broadcasting.
Did you know the leader is Holiday Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling of Lincolnton? That's right. They have the experience and the pros to do the job right the first time, covering Catawba, Lincoln, and Cleveland counties. Call today and schedule your AC unit for a tune-up, just $69.99 right now. 704-732-9238. That's 704-732-9238. Holiday Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling of Lincolnton. Check them out today. $69.99 for expert AC tune-ups. Expert in plumbing, too. Proud supporters of high school and American Legion Post 455 baseball.
Save up to 20% on select Husqvarna zero-turn mowers at Al Lane Kubota of Lincoln. That's right, select Husqvarna zero-turn mowers are now 20% off. Plus, ask about 0% financing for up to 42 months. There's a big selection to choose from. Save on Husqvarna, Kubota, and Toro. All at Al Lane's Kubota, 3636 East Highway 27 east of Lincoln. Online at allanemotorsports.com.
Well, the rough goes 15 yards. You know, now I am right at 100 yards. A 99.
Welcome back inside Sims Legion Park. Your score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. We're in the bottom of the 6th now. Lincoln County Cardinals have taken the lead over the Gastonia Post 23 Rebels 9-8.
Yeah, you spent all this time trying to get the lead or get at least close to the lead for the Lincoln County Cardinals, but you know, you're in the bottom of the 6th inning now. After trying to chase the lead, you're going to have to keep the lead here.
Yeah, I think exactly what you guys were talking about earlier, just chipping away. You see on the scoreboard, their last 3 innings, they've scored 8 runs over the last 3 innings, as opposed to Gastonia's sort of early burst of offense with 5 runs in the first. Is now we've got Billy Todd, the right fielder for Post 23, coming up to bat.
And I think another question is, did Lincoln County score too many runs too early?
That's something else I was thinking about.
So Tavin Johnson still on the mound for Lincoln County as he fires his first pitch into the right fielder, Todd, and it's going to be a ball low and outside.
Yeah, Todd's been doing a great job out in right field tonight.
Yes. Yeah. So Tavin Johnson comes, sets and fires on the 1-0, and Todd will put that through the 5.5 hole. That was always Tony Gwynn's favorite spot for a base hit, and he'll be on base with an Eddie's Auto Parts base hit.
Definitely what you need if you're Post 23. After giving up the lead, you get yourself a leadoff single to start things out.
And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Jordan Beaver. Beaver, a guy who's got a double, an RBI double, and a run scored in that first inning. With a runner on first now, and Tavin Johnson fires a first pitch strike.
Just can't get over how just a lot of offense in this game. So, I mean, hey, if you got nothing else to do, just tune us in here. YouTube on WL 1050 AM, or if you're at home, catch us on YouTube. Enjoy the end of what should be a great baseball game. Runners going.
And Billy Todd will be in there as that one sort of skips right off his foot as he was sliding into second.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the pitcher just was already in his starting his motion right when Todd went, and he just I think he didn't want to risk a balk in that situation, so he just went ahead through the pitch.
So Jordan Beaver now with a 1-1 count.
He's had a solid night tonight.
Runner on second in the form of Billy Todd. Sort of a fake move right there from Johnson as Jordan Easter standing right behind the second base bag.
So they had 5 in the first, 2 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. That's how their runs have been produced tonight. Lincoln 1 in the third. Hold on.
Johnson with a fastball that gets away from him, up and outside for ball 2.
1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 3 in the sixth.
Johnson now looking in for his sign. Gets something he likes, looks back at his runner at second and fires towards home, and that will be ball 3 on the designated hitter, Jordan Beaver.
Yeah, just a little bit too high right there by Johnson. Just needs to get it low just a tad bit, and maybe a little bit more inside, especially with the ump not being lenient towards outside calls.
Ooh. Johnson with a good quick pitch right there, and Jordan Beaver not able to catch up to that one. And
heavy cut,
counter run full, 3-2.
I think Beaver's a little frustrated with that missing there.
But that's what you want to see out of your designated hitter is a big cut, and he's a big dude, is Beaver. And he'll call time and step out of the box.
I want to try to calm himself down here. It's a full count here. You're down by 1 run. You got the tying run at second. Big opportunity here for Beaver.
Beaver with 1 runner on second, form of Billy Todd. Johnson takes a look back at him, fires towards home, and that one will short hop the catcher, and that'll be a walk for the designated hitter Beaver, and that'll bring up first baseman. And that is, let me flip over my card.
Lowry.
Jack Lowry.
Now Lowry looking to make up after having the error that scored the 2 runs. As Coach Bullock coming out here wanting to have a little mound meeting. I think he has been working a couple of guys in the bullpen.
I think they're going to bring in Brady Drennan to relieve Tavin Johnson right here.
I don't know. I think Drennan might be on a couple days rest still after throwing 4 innings Saturday night.
Well, Coach pointed right at him, and he sort of started to jog towards the mound. And
last check over on WCSL, 8 complete, Cherryville 5, Kings Mountain nothing.
Post 100, the sort of the recent powerhouse for as far as Gaston County Legion teams are concerned. Not the all-time winningest like Post 23 is, but they have obviously had a lot of recent success, has Post 100.
And, you know, you look at the teams we cover, we still haven't gotten to Post 82, which is just a couple of years removed.
It just went final. Cherryville wins 5-0.
Oh, so they get a win tonight, so that's good for them. Coach Bobby Dale did not make it to the States this year, got eliminated in the 3rd round by RS Central, but RS Central's in a whole other league. Most of that SMAC conference is in a league of their own right now. They're playing great baseball.
2 teams playing for a state title this weekend.
That's great for your conference. They're used to that in football, though. That's the weird thing about it.
As Johnson now fires what will be a ball, and Billy Todd will be safe at second. Now Jordan Beaver will take off for second, and Todd will take off for home. And Post 23 has tied this ball game back up 9-9 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard.
And that's the unfortunate part of when this ballpark is so big that the left fielder has to cover so much ground so little time. And unfortunately, Brady Drennan one-hopped him right when it got there, and then Todd got there at the same time. So it was just an unfortunate circumstance there for Drennan.
The wildness continues, 9 apiece.
So as you mentioned, the final 5-0 out in Cherryville as Lowry pops this one up into right, and Tyler Johnson can't make the play. Nobody's covering second, so Lowry will take that as well as Jordan Beaver will move up to third. So Gastonia now with a tie ball game and 2 runners on second and third with no outs.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a tough play for Johnson to make it. The way he was holding his glove, too, didn't look like he would have had a firm grip on the ball anyways, so really hurts. Just now the infield playing in right at the grass. Going to try to not let anything go by him as the leading run is at third base, and that is Beaver.
So Wesley Summey, the third baseman, steps in to take his cuts. Johnson looks in for the sign, gets something he likes, and doesn't look back as Summey drives that one into right field. Johnson steps back, and he makes the play. A good throw. Will it beat him? Oh, he's safe. That's a good call right there. We've got a great vantage point, but that's a great call by the umpire, and about as good of a chance as you can get from Tyler Johnson.
And Beaver is some kind of fired up.
Yeah,
you could tell it when he scored. You probably see it. Good job by the smoke on camera. He is fired up heading into the dugout. And Post 23 back in front. Back and forth we go, 10-9.
Leave it to Beaver.
Yeah. Oh.
Exactly. You did that twice. Oh, my God.
He got them to lead twice. He got the first 2 runs to come in, and now he got them to lead again. So
the over-under on Leave It to Beaver puns was set at 2.5 for Smoke, so we're still in the clear.
Yeah. Not that we condone.
Not that we couple mornings.
Not that we condone gambling, but just keep it in the cards.
So this will bring up shortstop Furman Osio with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Runner on third in the form of first baseman Jack Lowry. Infield still in for Lincoln County as Tavin Johnson now behind quickly 2-0, and Hunter White will come out for a battery meeting.
As now we've got the guys that were in the bullpen out in left field. They have come in. They're coming back into the dugout. So if Johnson gives up this run here, I think this might be it for him. He's on a pretty short lease, I would imagine.
And Hunter White breaks up the battery meeting. Jordan White has a couple words maybe for Johnson from out at second base.
So this has said if you like offensive fireworks, you're in the right place tonight.
19 combined runs.
And now 20 combined hits.
Yeah. Furman Osio takes a big cut right there.
And guys are taking heavy cuts. They want to add to the offense. And you have to, because you're now thinking, well, we got 10 runs, but heck, that might not be enough.
Yeah,
you want to get it's getting to the point where you need to get as many as you can get while you're seeing these heavy cuts, I think.
So that one will miss outside wide for Johnson. That'll run the count to 3-1, a hitter's count for Osio.
And you got to imagine, the Gaston County had a 6-run lead just evaporate, and now they're trying to get it back up. So anything can go.
Osio,
that was close.
Draws the walk on 5 pitches, does Osio, and that'll bring up catcher Jacob McRae.
As now Coach Bullock, I think that might be it for Johnson.
Be it.
Yeah. Number 19 going to come up. Going to come out of the bullpen for Lincoln County.
Getting some congratulations out there by his teammates. Some good work put in by Tav and Johnson.
Yeah, just not enough breaks, especially with the way that these balls can fall out in this big ballpark. And it's tough for these high schoolers. And
I do not have a. Hold on here. I don't have a 19 listed on this roster I have from I took a picture of earlier tonight.
Trying to see here. I want to say it. Looking at the zoomed-in shot, it looks a little bit like Andy Patrick.
Andy Patrick. Okay, good. I never saw that on the sheet.
It looks a little bit.
Now we're dealing with a bug's nest here.
Yeah, we'll be all right. I'm used to this.
Oh, I know you are, but.
Yeah, Andy Patrick going to be the Western Sales call to the bullpen. Played his first year or two at North Lincoln before moving to Bandy's this past year. So you got a Bandy's guy coming up here pitching. He's a pretty good pitcher. I've seen him pitch before down in the JV level, but I haven't seen him pitch ever since he's gotten to Bandy's.
And this is just strictly from an aesthetic standpoint, the only person on the field with a red hat.
Yeah.
The only one on the field with a snapback hat also, I believe. But
very interesting.
Probably won't really factor too much into
pitching. And as Smoke just told us, he's probably the only player on this Lincoln County Cardinals team that didn't play his high school baseball in Lincoln County.
Yeah.
So as Patrick takes his warm-ups, and I flick a bug off my kneecap.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of that here lately.
Yeah, so up to bat now will be, as soon as Patrick is done with his warm-up, will be the backstop for Gaston County. It's Jacob McRae. And he will come into this mid-at-bat with McRae already ahead with a 3-1 count.
And of course, Patrick, the best thing you're hoping for here is not to let that runner from third score. Just don't let the floodgates open again, because it's one thing for the floodgates to open within the first 2 innings, but now you're in the bottom of the 6th inning. If you let that thing get over 5 runs, it's going to be extremely hard to get back in this game.
You're exactly right. Patrick takes a look in, the right-hander. Gets his sign and fires towards home, and that will be an inside corner strike for the right-hander.
As we said, this ump is extremely lenient towards those inside strike calls, unlike the outside strike calls where he has not called them as much.
Patrick gets his sign, checks the runner at first.
Pretty interesting. He's checking the runner at first.
And
Runner
Osio
goes.
is off, yeah. No throw, and what will be strike 2. So 0-2 on McRae quickly, but both runners are in scoring position now at second and third.
Yeah, Osio cancels out the 6-4-3 or 4-6-3 double play.
Patrick comes and fires, and McRae not very comfortable on that swing, and he'll strike out swinging. And that will be the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up what's so far been the Cardinal killer tonight, Jacob Thornburg.
Yeah, it's interesting McRae swung at that because he was stepping away from the box.
His back foot,
and then he swung at it. I don't know what he was thinking there. Maybe, I don't know.
It just didn't look necessarily too comfortable.
Right.
Thornburg will foul that one straight back. So Thornburg now with a 0-1 count. What's his stat line been so far tonight, Seth?
Thornburg, he's 2 for 3.
2 for 3 with 4 RBIs?
Yeah, I believe so. A double, a single, and a fielder's choice.
And a big cut right there that'll run the count to 0-2 on the second baseman.
He could easily get it to 6 RBIs here with a good base hit.
Yes.
Thornburg steps back in, the right-handed hitting second baseman. Takes his practice cuts and gets comfortable. Patrick gets his sign, checks the runner at third, and Thornburg able to hold up on that one.
Another nice job by Hunter White getting in front of that one. So that would have easily scored if it would have gotten past him.
A good 0-2 pitch right there from Patrick. Patrick gets his sign once again, looks at the runner at third, and comes home. And Thornburg will foul that one straight back into the netting.
So an interesting situation with a 1-2 count. Again, Gastonia with 2 runners in scoring position. Thornburg, who's been solid out. This is who you'd want it to play if you're post 23.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can't say that too often about your number 8 hitter as Patrick fires the 1-2 pitch and he gets Thornburg swinging. So post 23 able to retake the lead in the bottom of the 6th. We'll be right back on WLON 1050 AM and KTC Broadcasting right after this.
Get to the Polaris Spring Sales event and hit the off-road with more money in your pocket. Financing is as low as 2.99% APR, and rebates go up to $2,000 on industry-leading razors, the best-selling Sportsman ATVs, and the undisputed king of the utility, the Polaris Ranger. See Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell off I-85. Online at ncfullthrottle.com.
It's Breakfast Madness at Mitchum's Kitchen in Vale. Check out these breakfast specials. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Sausage, steak, or liver mush biscuit for $1.39. And on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, get the big breakfast. 2 eggs, 1 meat, 1 side, biscuit or toast for $4.59. And drink is included. It's Breakfast Madness at Mitchum's Kitchen, Highway 274-27 West intersection in Vale. Call 704-276-1055.
Well, the rough goes 15 yards. You know, now I am right at 100 yards. A 99.
Welcome back inside Gastonia, North Carolina, Sims Legion Park, as we get a good look at a fan with a fantastic bucket hat.
Oh yeah, good job there, Smoke. I tell you,
the slow
he's going
pan
out. He's going out for fishing. He's going for midnight fishing tonight.
Leading off the top of the 7th for the Lincoln County post 455 Cardinals will be the second baseman, number 22, Jordan Easter. And Slayton, let me get that name one more time, Seth. Slayton Fletcher.
Slayton Fletcher, my bad.
No, you're fine. Slayton Fletcher gets a first pitch strike on the Lincoln County second baseman.
Easter's popped up a lot tonight.
Yeah. Fletcher, the left-hander, can't find the strike zone with that one, and the count will go to 1-1. Fletcher winds and fires and gets Easter to swing right over the top of that one, and then the count will go to 1-2.
Easter just a little bit too high on that swing there. But if I think he would have got contact on it, it wouldn't have made it that far.
Fletcher working quickly, and Easter will foul that one straight back over the press box. So Easter in the high sock stirrups back into the batter's box.
Going old school.
And he swings over the top of another one, and he'll be sat down on strikes for the first out of the inning. I'll bring up left fielder now, Brendan Gallagher, a guy who's played all 3 outfield positions tonight.
He's been very busy. It's one thing I was telling Smoke and Jason Sand the other night at Kings Mountain. It's one thing that's very cool / unique about Legion Ball. You're going to be busy. You'll be playing more than one position every single night.
Fletcher, first pitch almost gets Gallagher on a breaking ball, and that'll be ball 1.
Well, he has been pitching towards that inside spot, especially against Jordan Easter, so it's a lefty versus lefty matchup, which doesn't happen that often.
Gallagher pops one straight up over the left side of the infield. Ocio calls everybody off, and he'll make the play in fair territory, And I don't think he knew how many outs there are. I think he started to run for the dugout, but that's only the second out of the inning, but that will bring up arguably Lincoln County's best hitter, shortstop Nate Kinch.
Kinch with a walk, a single, 4-3 put out, and a single. So he's had 2 singles tonight.
2 for 3 with a walk so far tonight is Kinch as he drives one towards the shortstop Ocio, and Ocio not able to make the play on that. I think that
It's going to be an E6.
It'll be tough to see how they rule that.
Yeah, they're going to rule an error.
Yeah, they're going to rule that E6, yeah.
I don't know. It would have been a tough throw to make by Ocio.
I'm not sure if he makes that play cleanly if the throw can beat him, but I'm not the scorekeeper, so that's not my call to make. But that will bring up first baseman number 25, Kyle Napinski. So Fletcher with the lefty-on-lefty matchup again. Napinski takes the first pitch he sees and drives it to center field, and Tyler Bradley makes a good catch. That'll be an L8 for your scorebooks at home. We'll go to the eighth or to the middle of the seventh. It's stretch time. We'll be right back after this on KTC Broadcasting, WLON 1050 AM.
Dr. John L. Cloninger III of Lincoln will brighten your smiles with professional cosmetic dentistry and smile enhancement procedures for everyone. Even Duke fans will smile at the work of this Tar Heel. The office of Dr. John L. Cloninger III is located at 904 Doncher Drive. For an appointment, call 704-735-0765. That's 704-735-0765. And John III says best wishes to all high school athletes.
Maybe a punctuation mark on a career night for Bryce Johnson.
It's Military and First Responder Months, May and June, at Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby. Classic Ford Lincoln wants to say thank you for your service. Now you get $1,000 military and first responders appreciation cash with your next new vehicle purchase. Offer good for first responders, active military, veterans, and retirees. Come in for all the details and check out the huge selection at Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby. Right now, no reasonable offer will be turned down, so hurry in and see the huge savings. All at the new Classic Ford Lincoln, 1775 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at ClassicFordShelby.com.
Welcome back to Gastonia, North Carolina, inside Sims Legion Park. I'm Carson Dockery, joined by Seth Eves and Evan Ludwig, and no stretch time for us, guys. It's back to work, and looks like Bray Wooten will be leading off the inning for Gastonia Post 23.
Yeah, Andy Patrick did a good job coming into last inning. Let's see what he can do with a full inning. They just got to keep it at a one-run deficit here if you're Patrick and the defense, because it's within reach. You got yourselves out of a 6-run deficit. You can easily get yourself out of a 1-run deficit.
So Wooten, the left fielder, steps in, right-handed, slightly open stance is Wooten.
Crowding the plate.
Patrick with the first pitch, and Wooten fouls it straight back.
I think it hit the umpire's mask there.
Might have, yeah.
Either his mask or the Hunter White's mask, which is an old-school two-piece mask. As that's Hunter White's basically been having that mask since Little League.
You know, if it's got the good juice in it, man, you can't let it go. Patrick with the 0-1 pitch. That one's going to be outside, and the counter run to 1-1.
And of course, Hunter White, I think I've never seen Hunter White play another position other than catcher. He's been behind the plate for over 10 years now. So, and that's why I think he's so good, is because he's been so used to catching.
Here comes Patrick with the 1-1, and he catches the outside corner with a 1-2 1-1 fastball.
But I think Smoke mentioned it as we were going off the air like last night. Patrick looks more comfortable than any other Lincoln County pitcher we've seen tonight, or any of the Gastonia pitchers for that matter.
Mm-hmm. He's a guy who definitely has a lot of confidence on the mound. As he gets a big cut out of Wooten, and that's going to be a strikeout on a 1-2 fastball that probably would have been ball 2, but gets Wooten to reach for it, and that'll turn the card back over to the top, and that will bring up Tyler Bradley, the center fielder.
Bradley was hit by a pitch in the first, grounded into a 4-3 put out in the second and in the fourth, and struck out in the fifth.
Not been his night.
Yeah.
Especially when the first pitch you see is hit right to your spine.
And not a great swing right there from Bradley, as Patrick had him fooled on that one, 0-1.
But he's toughed it out and given it a good go tonight.
Yeah. Made some good plays out in center field, had really good reads on hard hit balls, as Patrick not able to find the strike zone on that one. Count will go to 1-1. So all ones across the board. Number 1 batting, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. So singles wild.
This doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Not quite. Patrick. And that will be fouled back to the left side by Bradley, and that will get
Is that going to be on the Martin Luther King
yeah, that'll
way
be
again?
on MLK Way.
That'd be a surprise if you a car coming on that intersection, all of a sudden you see a baseball.
Especially at this point of the day.
Yeah, as Bradley drives one right at the shortstop, Kinch, good play. And
great
Kinch
play.
With a great 6-3 putout. In all my years of being here, and I've wanted it to happen, I've never seen a car hit with a foul ball while moving.
Oh, while moving. But you still would want that to happen?
Yeah, man. I want to see the guy lose his mind, slam on brakes over there.
I wouldn't because, A, I wouldn't know the person, and B, I wouldn't want Karma to come back and have that happen to me one day.
Well, I mean, it's not like I wished it upon them. It's just a happening that hasn't happened yet. As Billy Todd is sort of almost forced to swing by a high fastball.
Todd singled in the first, struck out in the second. He also singled in the fourth and 6th innings.
He's done a great job at right field, too, as he grounds this one.
Hits one right to Jordan Easter. That'll be an easy 4-3 putout, and that'll end the bottom of the 7th. So 1-2-3, go post 23. We'll be right back on KTC Broadcasting and WLON 1050 AM.
The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years, that's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966, and this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus they have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South of 95 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn.
Welcome back inside Sims Legion Park. If you're just joining us, you have missed out on the majority of what's been a pretty entertaining baseball game if you like runs on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. It's the top of the 8th with the Lincoln County Cardinals trailing Gastonia Post 23 9-10.
Seems like this ump is starting to get a little bit more warm to some of these outside pitches here.
He wants to go home, man. He wants to go home. He wants some of his wife's cooking, and he wants to go to sleep.
Ooh,
Brady Drennan takes a big cut on a very good fastball right there by Slayton Fletcher.
Looked a little bit early, too.
Mm-hmm. Drennan all around fooled on that one.
Yes, he was.
One of Fletcher's best breaking balls we've seen so far, and then he tries to come with, look like a fastball on the outside corner.
Grounded out
wide.
Grounded out in the first, reached on a sac fly in the third, walked in the 5th, and struck out in the 6th.
So it's reached base the only time on a base on balls, and there he'll strike out swinging for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Tyler Johnson, the right fielder.
Johnson walked in the 2nd, popped up in the 3rd, walked in the 5th, and singled in the 6th.
Well, now I've got to mention here, we're in the 8th inning, and it's a one-run game, but now Lincoln County's down to only 5 outs remaining in this ball game.
Yeah, it's very important.
So Johnson, the right fielder, right-handed hitting right fielder, takes a first pitch breaking ball strike that backdoors into the zone from Fletcher. That's not a thing too many guys are comfortable doing, coming with that first pitch breaking ball, as then he comes back with a fastball and gets Johnson to foul it straight back into the netting.
Yes.
So a quick 0-2 hole here. As could easily go from 5 to 4 outs remaining here for the Cardinals if Johnson's not careful.
0-2 pitch. Tried to get that breaking ball to backdoor back into the zone, but not able to stay on top of it, and that'll move the count to 1-2.
A great pitch by Fletcher to try to get Johnson to take the bait on that one.
1-2 pitch again. And that one must have been outside and low.
Thought, from my vantage point, like it almost hit the dirt.
Yeah, it must have. Good stop by McCray, even though
no one's on base.
No one's on base, but hey, you appreciate the effort if nothing else. So 2-2 count, 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Try to get that breaking ball to break back in again, but he can't do it, and that'll run the count full, 3-2.
Nice job, Johnson, being patient, not being overly aggressive here at the plate. He's been doing that for most of the night.
So Fletcher gets his sign, winds and delivers. Johnson fouls one off to the right side out of the stadium. So a 3-2 count on your first Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. It's the top of the 8th. Lincoln County trailing Gastonia by only a run, 9-10. Here's Fletcher with the payoff pitch, and Tyler Johnson will draw a walk after starting that count 0-2. So good patience right there from Johnson and good selectiveness. And that'll bring up the catcher, number 12, Hunter White.
Now we're going to see, looks like.
Courtesy runner.
Yeah, courtesy runner.
Well, it wouldn't be a courtesy runner.
No,
It's a pinch runner.
Yeah, Johnson's a right fielder. So, see, number 13 now coming in. I've seen him go back and forth through the bullpen a lot.
That's David Borges.
David Borges.
Not Peter Borges, David Borges.
Yeah, David Borges, the North Lincoln Knight. He's grown some hairs since the last time I saw him.
Good on him, man.
Yeah, it's got that Colby Rasmus look.
Oh, my goodness.
So that will bring up, as we stated, the backstop for the Cardinals, Hunter White.
He also has been doing a pretty solid job at the plate. More known for his catching, but not as much as his hitting. But he's pretty solid with the bat. Be big here if he can get another base hit.
Fletcher looks over the run at first, and White tries to lay down a sacrifice bunt, but it rolls foul. That'll be strike one.
Now, pretty rare to see Hunter White attempt a bunt, as coach did come over there before Hunter White got in the box and told something to him. I bet that's what he told him, try to get a bunt.
Yeah, just trying to manufacture one run at this point, try to keep the game alive. If you're a Cardinal right now, as Fletcher looks in, gets his sign, looks over at the runner at first and fires towards home, and Hunter White lays down a bunt, and it's going to go 1-6 on the putout, so they'll get the lead runner, and Hunter White will advance to first on the fielder's choice. So a good play right there, and a risky one by Fletcher normally, but White not really able to do what they teach you and catch it with the bat. That one popped right off the bat, went right to Fletcher, and that helped that 1-6 putout. And now with 2 outs.
Here's Patrick.
Yeah, that's going to be the pitcher, Patrick, and in a big spot right here. Top of the 8th, 2 outs, and you've only got 4 more outs to go.
So he's going to go talk to Coach Bullock now. Andy Patrick, I've seen him swing the bat. He's pretty solid with it. So see what we're going to have. If we're going to have a pinch hitter in this situation, I think that might be the case here.
No, they're going to have a courtesy runner for White since he's a catcher.
It looks like they're going to get the Gabe Duncan.
Gabe Duncan from East Lincoln High School.
That is Gabe Duncan, everyone.
Yeah.
Number 2.
We kind of made a mistake there in the last broadcast, saying Gabe Duncan pitched to end the game.
I had a Twitter account that literally hadn't tweeted in like 2 years correct me. So I felt kind of important, like this guy hadn't got on Twitter maybe in 2 years. He got on there just to talk to me, so.
Yeah, but Gabe. It was a honk. Okay. Gabe Duncan led East Lincoln in steals, so definitely the guy you want on base for the Cardinals in this situation to try to extend the inning.
But here's the thing: how much of a lead do you? I know you're desperation, but how much of a lead do you want if with 2 outs? Yeah, it's high risk, high reward at this point.
Well, and especially with Fletcher being a left-handed pitcher, he can look right at first base too. But if I'm Fletcher, I wouldn't be as worried right now because you got 2 outs.
Yeah, you're worried about the batter.
And the more you focus on the runner, I think the more of an opportunity you have of messing up in this situation.
So Fletcher toes the rubber. Patrick really far inside in the batter's box, and Fletcher will throw a first pitch fastball that's in the dirt. Or no, excuse me, not first pitch, but second pitch fastball, and the count will go to 1-1. So Patrick, it seemed like his toes were almost on the white lines of the inside of the batter's box, really crowding the plate. Maybe taking a little bit of a step back. But
I think that's actually smart with how many pitches have gone down low, close to that line. Of course, I think that's what a lot of the coaches want you to do is get up in that plate, especially with me being a lefty. They always told me to get there because a lot of pitchers had a tough time against lefties. They'd hit them a lot and coach pitch.
Patrick puts that one up into the air in right center, and Billy Todd will call off Tyler Bradley, and that'll be the last out of the 8th. So Lincoln County not able to get on the board in the top of the 8th. We'll be back here on WLON 1050 AM and KTC Broadcasting for the bottom half of the 8th. We'll be right back.
Your lawn will be the envy of the neighborhood with the new Husqvarna Zero Turn Mower from Carolina Hardware Garden and Pool Supplies on the Reedsville Road in Lincoln. Right now, get 0% financing on your new Husqvarna. And don't forget about their pool supplies and chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean this summer. And right now, outdoor furniture is on sale at 20% off. So hurry in now to Carolina Hardware Garden and Pool Supplies, located on the Reedsville Road in Lincoln. Lincoln Animal Hospital is happy to announce their Customer Appreciation Week, May 22nd through 26th. They offer a special every day. On Monday, take 50% off nail trims. Tuesday, 15% off baths. On Wednesday, 50% off rabies vaccinations. On Thursday, it's a Smooch Your Pooch kissing booth from 4 until 6 p.m. And on Friday, take 15% off wellness physicals. And ask about their raffle for a very nice gift basket that'll be given away Friday, May 26th. It's all at the Lincoln Animal Hospital in Lincoln.
Welcome back inside Sims Legion Park here in Gastonia, North Carolina. Carson Dockery joined alongside by Evan Ludwig and Seth Eves, and we've got a defensive substitution now. Will Harkey, the catcher now for Lincoln County, taking the spot of Hunter White.
Yeah, and I think that's a smart call there by Coach Bullock because Hunter White, I think, has been having trouble with guys that he's not used to catching as a pitcher, and catcher-pitcher relationship means a lot. And Will Harkey went to school with Andy Patrick the first couple of years. Andy was at North, and he's worked with him a lot. So I think that's a great call by Bullock not to have any major mistakes and have Will Harkey come out here. Kind of like what we saw in the majors with John Lester. Wherever John Lester went, David Ross went with him as well.
So now Jordan Beaver, the batter, now for post 23, as he's quickly behind 0-1. Here's Patrick, and
see if the check swing goes.
No appeal down to first, so that will be ruled a ball.
Andy Patrick was wanting the appeals. Now Will Harkey's going to go see.
Now they will appeal, and no swing, says first base umpire.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit too little too late.
Yeah, almost. He almost looked like, when Adrian Beltre goes down on one knee. So Patrick, time that one will go over everybody, and the count will run to 2-1.
High, not wide, and not handsome.
Now just graced the top of Will Harkey's glove.
Yeah, just barely, and so Patrick with a 2-1 count now on the designated hitter Beaver. And he'll foul that one straight back. I think that one's right over there. If anybody wants a souvenir. Went right on the right side of the press box. If Smoke wants to redeem himself and throw that one back onto the field.
Just know what to call the man this time.
So now with a 2-2 count, Patrick can't find the zone, and this count will run full 3-2.
So it's just the two of us while Smoke gets the ball back.
So Patrick with a good 2-strike pitch, full count pitch, a fastball on the outside corner, and Jordan Beaver can't do anything about it. He'll be struck out, and that'll bring up first baseman Jack Lowry.
And Smoke has returned with his baseball.
Don't call him Mr. Official.
Please don't.
All right, so here's Lowry's first pitch of his AB, and he turns on one, and he can't keep it fair, though, as that hooked into that boundary fence on the right side. And I don't know who number 21 is for
He's hustling.
post 23, but he has been doing this all night.
He is hustling.
Running all the way to the tarp just about. That's a haul, ladies and gentlemen.
He's a baseball version of Red Lightning.
Very true. I tell you what, they need him stealing bases. But in all seriousness, Lowry singled in the third and the fourth. He also popped out the first and reached on E3 in the sixth.
He just swings over the top of that last pitch and count a run to 0-2 in favor of Patrick. And Will Harkey tried to frame that one on the outside corner, but he can't do it.
Now, especially with the way the ump has not been favoring these outside calls, it's going to be extremely hard to frame it to his liking.
1-2 count with one out. And Lowry goes opposite field with that one. And Brendan Gallagher. No, that's not Brendan Gallagher. That's Tyler Johnson in left field, not able to make that play. Sort of overran it. Then once he realized he overran it, tried to sort of stop on a dime, and when he did, his feet just came out from underneath him.
I think that might be because of the rain from last night.
I think he slipped. He slipped in left field. That's an E7, as you'd expect.
Yeah, an E7. So now 4 errors apiece on both squads.
And I got to say as well, that looked like a check swing there.
Yeah, not a lot of follow-through really on the part of Lowry, but he'll take the E7 as a way to get to the end of scoring position, and now that'll bring up third baseman Wesley Summey. And Summey now looking to stretch out that lead and give Gastonia some breathing room. 1 out.
Summey single to the first, but hasn't done that much since.
He'll take a strike right there on the low outside corner, and that'll run the count even 1-1.
That looked like a beamer there by Patrick.
So man on second in the form of Jack Lowry. He gets a pretty conservative lead while no one's holding, and Patrick fires, and Summey takes a big cut right there, and that'll run the count to 1-2. That's I don't want to call that a home run cut here, but that was an extra base cut at the very least.
Oh yeah,
that was a big cut on an inside pitch.
Yeah. Here comes Patrick with a 1-2, and Summey
another
will swing over the top of it. Harkey having to throw down to first, and it'll be a strikeout swinging and a 2-3 putout, as well as Jack Lowry advancing to third on the throw.
And a nice job by Lowry being heads up here, getting in yourself closer to home plate, trying to get some insurance, and Will Harkey just had a tough time getting that throw, and it was almost over the head of the first baseman, Napinski. That could have been devastating there for post 455.
You got to think Gastonia wants as many insurance runs as you can, because obviously at one point they're up, 7-1. And no lead is safe tonight as Furman Osio takes ball 1 to start his at-bat.
Osio walked in the first, doubled in the third, and in the sixth. Double here would be nice considering they got the runner in scoring position.
That would put another runner into scoring position as he takes a big cut right there, sort of stepped in the bucket, as they say, and count will go to 1-1.
Well, he's 90 feet from home, the runner, I should ask. He's scoring position. He's at third.
Yeah.
90 feet.
Could easily get it 2-run.
Maybe less than 90 with the lead he's got.
So Patrick,
nice job, Will Harkey.
Good job of Will Harkey saving a run right there. As he smothers that one, and the count goes to 2-1 on the shortstop Osio.
Yeah, as a 2-run lead in the bottom going into the top of the ninth, and a 1-run lead going into the ninth are two completely different things.
Patrick takes a look over at third and fires towards home as Osio fouls that one out of the stadium.
Smoke continues to play with his baseball while working the camera. He's multitasking. He's triple tasking because he's providing a top-notch analysis, playing with the baseball, and working the camera.
He is a true professional.
He really is, and he's got youth on his side.
Oh, Osio turns on one, but he just got underneath it. Tyler Johnson camps out underneath it, and he drops it. That's the second E7 of the inning on Tyler Johnson, and you got to think he is as frustrated as anybody. As now
the run scored.
Yeah, on your first Federal Savings Bank scoreboard now reads Lincoln County 9, Gastonia 11 in the bottom of the 8th, and that's the insurance run that Post 23 was looking for.
And that's the second time Johnson's dropped the ball in the outfield. He dropped one in when he was in right field, too. I think it's the way he's holding his glove. He's kind of holding it at an awkward angle.
Doesn't look like a natural outfielder when he goes to make those plays, and you got to think at some point Coach Bolick's got to look at some other options out there.
Yeah, it's just cost 1-run disadvantage, and now it's 2-run. It could possibly go to 3 runs here. Base hit happens here.
That's a big cut to start the at-bat from Jacob McCray, the backstop for Post 23.
So it's now 5 errors by Post 455.
A combined 9 errors for both teams, so not necessarily pretty play as McCray takes another big cut, and he'll go down quickly 0-2 with 2 outs, as Patrick might be letting out a little bit of frustration on Jacob McCray.
And Patrick has done a good job at the mound right now. That pitch a little high.
Osio takes off, and he'll steal third without a throw.
Yeah, at this point, if I'm the infield, I'm just not worrying about the runner unless the ball gets past the catcher, Will Harkey at this point, because you're one pitch away from ending this inning.
You're exactly right. 1-2 pitch from Patrick, and that will be skipped into Will Harkey, and another good block from the Lincoln County backstop.
Will Harkey didn't get as much playing time in high school because he was backing up to Daniel Thompson, who was an excellent catcher, but Will Harkey, a great catcher in his own right, as we're seeing it here right now.
Patrick comes set with the 2-2, and he'll strike out Jacob McRae without a swing. So we'll go to the 9th with Gastonia post 23 leading Lincoln County post 455, 11-9. We'll be right back.
Smoke's going to get a shot at redemption.
Yeah, Smoke gets a shot at redemption, and we'll be right back on WLON 1050 AM and KTC Broadcasting.
Sleep apnea is the interruption of sleep by a blockage to breathing. 8 million Americans go undiagnosed for sleep apnea. Dr. John L. Cloninger III of Lincoln can help you with sleep apnea problems. John III is a member of the American Academy of Dental Sleep Medicine. He can help you now overcome the symptoms of obstructive sleep apnea, such as excessive daytime sleep, loud snoring, episodes of breathing cessation where you stop breathing, dry mouth and sore throat, morning headaches, insomnia, attention problems, and more. John III is concerned that patients don't know there are treatments for obstructive sleep apnea, from CPAP to dental appliances or even surgery. John III offers a free consultation for anyone with symptoms of sleep apnea. Just call 704-735-0765 or come by 904 Doncha Drive in Lincoln to make an appointment. Sleep longer, smile brighter, live happier. Let Dr. John L. Cloninger III put his 21 years of dentistry experience to work for you.
Welcome back inside Sims Legion Park. I'm Carson Dockery, once again joined by Seth Eves and Evan Ludwig. We're in the top of the 9th. Last chance for romance for the Lincoln County Cardinals here as they face Slayton Fletcher for Gastonia post 23.
There is a positive here for the Cardinals. They got 1, 2, 3 coming up. Lane Hoover, Jordan Eastern, Brendan Gallagher, and also Fletcher's been pitching for a couple innings now, so might be a little bit tired with the pitch count here, and I think they have an opportunity to maybe stomp on them. But as I said, in the bottom of the 8th, a 1-run lead and a 2-run lead going into the last inning are two completely different things. It's going to be real hard in this situation.
You're exactly right. As Lane Hoover tries to get a bunt for a base hit on his first at bat in the 9th, and yes, he'll get in there with the bunt for single attempt.
That's a good start. That is good start for the Cardinals. Lane Hoover, great bunt laid down and showed off his speed.
And he caught him off guard. That's the main thing, especially on that first pitch. And now you got your fastest base runner aboard with no outs in the top of the 9th.
So that'll bring up the second baseman, Jordan Easter. Right-handed hitting Easter might be asked to bunt right here. Who knows exactly what will happen.
He's had a rough night hitting the ball right now. A lot of pop flies.
A good take right there for ball 1.
Maybe he finally gets something going here in the top of the 9th.
Center field shading him towards left a little bit. Bray Wooten playing in just a tad. As Fletcher comes and fires, and Easter hits it. Might be over the head of Wooten. No, great
nice
play.
catch.
Backtracking is Wooten. And that will be out number 1 and a loud out.
Wow.
And a great play by Wooten, ranging to his right and making the backhanded catch.
How good has he been defensively tonight?
I mean,
can't overstate it. A guy who hasn't necessarily done a whole lot at the plate, but he's
made up for
certainly earned his keep out in the field.
Yeah, Bray Wooten, he covered about 50 feet there.
Oh, easily.
Easily. I mean, it's hard to believe he was a quarterback. You would have thought he would have been a defensive back.
Well, he was a quarterback at North Gaston.
Yeah.
Basically a running back that'll throw it every once in a while. And now that'll bring up Brendan Gallagher. As he hits one over. Did that land on the top of the wall?
No, it's still going on the road, I think.
No, I mean, it bounced.
Oh, it bounced off the top of the wall.
The top of the wall.
It did, yeah.
That's pretty impressive. Either way, Gallagher down 0-1 after that foul. And that one's up near the noggin of Gallagher.
He's had some close calls tonight.
Yeah, and that will be ball 1 on the right fielder. So Brendan Gallagher, the left-handed hitter, gets comfortable once again. Hoover with a pretty conservative lead over at first. And Gallagher fouls one off to the left side again.
Hits the little bleachers over there, the metal ones.
As you could probably hear.
Yeah. So 1-2 count now on the right fielder Gallagher.
Gonna have to choke up on that bat a little bit to defend the plate here.
Hoover with a really conservative lead over at first for a guy with pretty good wheels. Gallagher hits that one into right center. That one should be caught, and it will be by Billy Todd. Good play ranging to his right.
I think Gallagher was just a little bit too ahead on that one.
And Lincoln County down to their last out here.
Yeah.
This is it. And you got the best hitter, though.
You do, in the form of shortstop Nate Kinch. So let's see what Kinch can do here as the center fielder shades him to the left. Bray Wooten will take a couple steps back. And here's Fletcher's first pitch is going to be way outside. Ball 1. McCray sort of feigned a throw over to first just to make sure Lane Hoover was on his toes.
And Lipinski is on deck if we do go to another batter.
And there's a pretty soft toss over to first from Fletcher, just sort of making sure Lane Hoover knows he's thinking about him.
And that's first time he's been thrown over, which is pretty shocking. But Hoover's been real conservative, I bet. Coach Bullock gave him a sign not to risk anything. Don't just be caught frozen here.
Fletcher looks over to first, fires home, and that one's way outside too. So 2 straight balls to Kinch have both basically been in the left-handed hitter's batter's box.
Yeah, and the good thing, though, for Fletcher is unless you give up a home run, which is extremely hard to do in this ballpark, you got yourself a 2-run cushion, which makes that insurance run very big.
And another outside ball. That one not quite as far outside, but either way, Nate Kinch now sitting on a 3-0 count, and you got to think the take sign's on here for Kinch.
Yeah, I would think so.
3-0 pitch, and there's a 4-pitch walk for Kinch. Now, the go-ahead run at the plate if you're the Lincoln County Cardinals in the form of Kyle Lipinski.
Yeah, and Lipinski, of course, started this game at pitcher, gave up the first 2 runs, and what do you know, they're down 2 runs, could really make up that rough start on the mound here.
You got to think he's at least happy to know that he won't be taking the L.
Right, yeah. Because he actually gave up 5 runs. Because when Hoover came in, that first pitch just went right and cleared the bases. So,
So Lipinski now, lefty on lefty matchup, and he takes a big cut on Fletcher's first pitch. It's high and inside, but he goes after it anyway, and he's down 0-1 quickly.
Can't go after the big cut here. You got to be patient, and you got to wait for that pitch and just try to get some sort of good, solid contact here.
So neither of the runners being held on as Lipinski hits one to Thornburg. This should do it. 4-3 put out, and that's a ball game. Your final score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard: Lincoln County 9, Gastonia Post 23-11. We'll be right back after this with the Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge postgame show. We'll be right back. This is WLON 1050 AM and KTC Broadcasting.
Sleep apnea is the interruption of sleep by a blockage to breathing. 8 million Americans go undiagnosed for sleep apnea. Dr. John L. Cloninger III of Lincoln can help you with sleep apnea problems. John III is a member of the American Academy of Dental Sleep Medicine. He can help you now overcome the symptoms of obstructive sleep apnea, such as excessive daytime sleep, loud snoring, episodes of breathing cessation where you stop breathing, dry mouth and sore throat, morning headaches, insomnia, attention problems, and more. John III is concerned that patients don't know there are treatments for obstructive sleep apnea, from CPAP to dental appliances or even surgery. John III offers a free consultation for anyone with symptoms of sleep apnea. Just call 704-735-0765 or come by 904 Doncha Drive in Lincoln to make an appointment. Sleep longer, smile brighter, live happier. Let Dr. John L. Cloninger III put his 21 years of dentistry experience to work for you.
All right, welcome back. We are high atop Sims Legion Park. I'm Carson Dockery. Off camera is Evan Ludwig. With me right here is Seth Eves. And Seth, who are you going to name the Abernathy Chevrolet player of the game?
I'm going to go with Jacob Thornburg.
Yeah.
What game he had. A double in the first, single in the first, and I believe, if my count was correct, 4 RBIs tonight. So
out of your 8-spot hitter.
Out of the 8 hitter, exactly. Yeah. So the North Gaston man did a very good job tonight for Post 23. So play of the game, Jacob Thornburg.
All right, now off camera, Evan, Who are we going to go with the Subway sub of the game?
Andy Patrick did a great job coming out of the bullpen in the 7th, 8th inning and just really shut down Gastonia, but it was a little bit too little too late. Andy Patrick has to go for our Subway sub of the game. But, guys, tough loss here for Lincoln County. They chipped away at that lead, and right after they got the lead for the first time tonight, gave it up. I will say the stat line that we should see, 5 errors, of course, is a big one.
Yeah.
Including 2 drop balls, or 3 drop balls if you include the one from Shields in the second inning that cleared the bases. And also 9 runners left in scoring position that did not score for Lincoln County tonight. That's the real stat that I think is to be looked at when you lose by 2 runs. But still a nice effort for Lincoln County. A lot of teams probably would have give up in this situation, but they didn't. Unfortunately, they lost, but they're 2-2. But I still think there's a lot of great baseball left in this team as they get a couple of days off, which I think is something they need.
I think that would help a lot. Real quick, the time aspect of it, pretty good for a 9-inning Legion game. 2 hours and 51 minutes tonight at the ballpark.
No, not too bad at all. And want to remind everyone, our next broadcast will be the next game. So Lincoln County does not play until Saturday. They'll go all the way to Independence High School and play Mint Hills Legion squad. So that'll be on Saturday. I'll be there. And should be a fun one, as hopefully Lincoln County can get back on track to what they were doing last weekend against Huntersville and Kings Mountain.
So one more time, your final line score, Lincoln County 9 runs on 9 hits, 5 errors. And your winning Gastonia Post 23 Running Rebels, 11 runs on 12 hits and 4 errors. For myself, Carson Dockery, Seth Eves, Evan Ludwig, glad to have you here. We'll be back soon on WLON KTC Broadcasting. Thanks for coming out.
Sleep apnea is the interruption of sleep by a blockage to breathing. 8 million Americans go undiagnosed for sleep apnea. Dr. John L. Cloninger III of Lincoln can help you with sleep apnea problems. John III is a member of the American Academy of Dental Sleep Medicine. He can help you now overcome the symptoms of obstructive sleep apnea, such as excessive daytime sleep, loud snoring, episodes of breathing cessation where you stop breathing, dry mouth and sore throat, morning headaches, insomnia, attention problems, and more. John III is concerned that patients don't know there are treatments for obstructive sleep apnea, from CPAP to dental appliances or even surgery. John III offers a free consultation for anyone with symptoms of sleep apnea. Just call 704-735-0765 or come by 904 Doncha Drive in Lincoln to make an appointment. Sleep longer, smile brighter, live happier. Let Dr. John L. Cloninger III put his 21 years of dentistry experience to work for you.
It's the Memorial Day sales event going on now at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Come in now and get up to $5,000 off MSRP on the new 2017 Buick Envision and Buick Enclave. And get 3.9% APR financing on the new 2017 Buick Encore. And all remaining 2016 GMC Sierras in stock are now up to $6,000 off MSRP. All during the Memorial Day sales event going on now at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall. Lincoln and Animal Hospital is happy to announce their Customer Appreciation Week, May 22nd through 26th. They offer a special every day. On Monday, take 50% off